Welcome to another live stream edition of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and I've been joined by the whole crew this week. So we have Jeff directly beside me, Dave in the opposite corner, and then underneath we have Conrad and Bell. Thank you, everyone, for jumping in. Good to see you all. Got a full complement this week, which is absolutely fantastic. And thank you to all of you for tuning in wherever you are watching the show tonight. Make sure you jump in the comments, say hi, let us know where you're from if you're a first-time watcher, and we look forward to seeing you interact with us in the comments as we go through things here tonight. While I'm on that note, Jody says hello, as always, to everyone.
Hello,
out there.
Jody.
So,
Hi, Jody.
We'll see if she jumps in on the YouTube comments or not. I don't know, but she tends to watch bits and pieces randomly here and there. So hi for Jody. All right, tonight, as always, there's a lot to get through. We have round 2 of this season of King of the Riff, focusing on sophomore albums, which is Rainbow Rising versus Dream Theater Images and Words. All this is coming up later on. We have Fretboard Feud, that game where we, pick songs and all that sort of stuff. If you didn't get the memo, it'll make sense in a minute. Belle and I have been trying to get that sorted out earlier today, which has been a lot of fun. But the next album we're choosing songs from for this is Headless Cross from Black Sabbath. We're going through the Tony Martin era of that band. Backyard Banger is going to be the Dreadful Tides, and I believe Jeff. Is it Jeff or is it Dave? Sorry.
It's Dave.
Dave, there we go. Sorry, I'm getting myself confused here. We also have Who Am I? Hot Rock's coming up as well. But first up, as is usual, we have the Hard Rock happenings, and I'll get to some comments in a second. I can see you all there, so give me a moment to get through this one. Okay, first up, 3 things I think you need to know about. First up, in case you missed it, in case you've been living under the biggest fucking rock you can think of, Gojira absolutely fucking killed it at the Olympic opening ceremony. We haven't had a chance to discuss it on a live stream yet. We've done it on the Sunday session, Jeff and I, but this one was just monumental when it happened, and just wanted to make sure you all knew about it. Now, the downside is it's exceptionally hard to find decent quality footage of it, because every time it gets put up, it gets pulled down again due to copyright notices, which is just a fucking, why the fuck don't they just release an official version of this shit then? But if you can, go and watch it and understand the history of the song being played, the venue it's being played at, or on, I should say, and the context of it all in the thing. Like one of the most metal moments, generally speaking, and it was done at the Olympic opening ceremony in France. It was fucking phenomenal. So go and check that out.
Cool.
It was fucking amazing. I get chills still thinking about it. That's going to be like my live performance of the year probably so far, because I don't get to go any gigs 2 hours away from here, so it's going to be hard to beat. What else? Also, congratulations to Audio Rain for landing the support gig for Amaranth's upcoming tour, where they'll be playing the Adelaide show. That is fantastic news. Unfortunately, all around, generally speaking, the promo is fucking woeful. I can't find the rest of the bands and the announcements for them yet. I think I might have skimmed and seen one, but you're trying to do a search, you're trying to do anything, you can't get the information. So hopefully the rest of the bands start plugging it, because this is cool. It's a great tour, and I hope all the bands get some support. But Audio Rain are playing the Adelaide show, and if you're interested in knowing more, Amaranth are playing August 25 to September 1st. They're hitting Auckland, Adelaide, Perth, Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. So get around that if you can, and if you know which bands are playing which venues, please let us know so I can spread the word about that. Speaking of tours, King Parrot. Now, if you like your heavy shit, King Parrot is a band for you. And if you've never seen this band live, do it. Even if you don't like the music, it's an experience. You have to go and see King Parrot at least once in your life. You'll walk away with your eyes wide open. Just for context, for those that don't know, you know that old meme that was kicking around when there was that dude who'd fallen asleep with the guy screaming at a live gig in his face at the pub venue? There was a meme kicking around where, you to go to relax, you go to sleep at a heavy metal concert. That's King Parrot, just for people who don't understand. There's a bit of history and all the sort of stuff too. But anyway, they're touring with Weed Eater from overseas, Astro Death, and Chuff. They're doing a tour from November 6 to 17. They're hitting Gold Coast, Brisbane, Newcastle, Sydney, Canberra, Ballarat, Geelong, Frankston, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth in about a 2-week span, 11-day span, whatever you want to call it. They're fucking crazy. So get around it, support them. And like I said, if you've never seen King Parrot live, do it. Even if you don't like the genre, it's just, you won't know it hit you. It's an experience. As always, Friday tomorrow is new release day, so let's get into it. Just a few things here. It's not a massive list tomorrow, but some notable ones here, or for this week, is Blind Guardian are releasing Somewhere Far Beyond, the revisited version of it. Went back and re-recorded the album. That's coming out tomorrow. Freeze the Fall. I know some followers of ours have been promoting this band. They've already got this EP out called Thrones. I think it's their debut EP from this young band up and coming. Also, Jeff, a band that you and I discussed on a recent TV filming, is Morning Wood, which is morning... in mourning, not the typical mourning wood.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. Well, Belle nearly lost her shit.
Well, if
there.
you're really into death, you might have morning wood.
They should do like a game where everyone's
touched on that.
Try not to laugh.
We touched on that.
Yeah, we did in the TV session, Jeff. It's morning, MOURNING, morning wood. Their album,
touched it. I didn't.
Your grave. And also the Smashing Pumpkins, for those that want to revisit this band, they've got their new album, Agori Mahori Mai or something, I don't know. But that's coming out tomorrow as well. There's a few things, some re-releases in that as well, but that's the sort of notable ones. There's a band called Football Head. Wow. Okay, there's a band called Football Head releasing Before I Die. There we go. That's an EP.
Football Head. Band names are getting terrible.
But anyway, that is...
Don't know if you knew it, but Sisters Doll played halftime at the NFL. NRL.
In RL. I did say that. Yes, thank you. Dave, fill us in. More info on that if you've got it. That'd be a cool one to enter that section.
I don't know much, actually. I know they got it, and it wasn't... No, there was a lot of pissed off fans, because even if you bought whatever fucking streaming service it was on, it wasn't televised. There's a shock.
What?
Yeah, but they found footage. It's on YouTube. They did the new single and their cover of God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too.
I saw Jody watching God Gave Rock and Roll this morning, yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's on YouTube.
Which NRL game was it? Like the State of Origin or something?
No, not State of Origin.
I don't know. The one that was on the weekend, I don't follow sports at all, but they played halftime.
The one.
And the biggest crowd they played to, which was in Canberra, I think it was. But that was also the town that they played the smallest audience. Now they played the biggest.
Oh, it might have been Canberra Rabbitohs, because I think that
Maybe
was the Canberra game on the weekend. Yeah, the Raiders versus Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
No idea. Just I know that they got the halftime spot, which was pretty cool. Okay. If they could do the grand final, that'd be cool, but it's never going to happen.
Oh, but still, I reckon, to be honest, like I'm more of an AFL fan than an NRL fan to get into the weeds a second year, but I think the NRL as a general rule do a much better job of supporting Australian music than the AFL do. So,
yeah.
That's what it's worth.
It's like second performance, I think, was Sage on the bass. So,
cool. Nice.
Yeah, baptism by fire for him.
Cool. No.
Back to you,
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to go through some comments now, then we'll start getting into the Hot Rocks section of the show, where Michael has jumped in saying, good evening all. Good to see you, Michael. Hopefully you've been keeping well out there. Benjamin over in New Zealand, what's up? Good to see you. Kat, good to see you. Got a shout-out for you coming up later on too, so stick around. Jolie's here going, hey, crew, how are you?
Hey,
hello, Jody as well.
Hey, Jolie.
Jolie. Darren's here. Hi guys, looking forward to the stream. Thank you for jumping in. Good to see you.
Darren.
And our trivia king Kevin is here. So greetings, kids. Good to see you, Kevin. Hopefully you're keeping well overseas. Ben says, I saw that the chateau was sick. Yes, that was for Gojira. That was fucking amazing. Bash is here saying hi all. Good to see you as always,
hey,
Bash. With Mick. Hey all, good to see you as always too. Edge Crusher King Parrot is the insane show ever. It is just an insane live show. But Michael's chimed in saying Southern River Band, I think August 23rd at the Corner Hotel, and shows around 30 around the country, including Brisbane. Nice. Cool. The Southern River Band on the road. Go and see them if you can, because everything we've heard from them has been very impressive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bash is going, keep my fingers crossed for a final original and the best Black Sabbath reunion. There is talk about that. I didn't want to go down that path.
Really?
Really locked in yet.
Another one?
Another one.
No.
I don't know.
No, just leave it. Fucking, they've not seen AC/DC at their age.
Well, this time I hope they just.
Hey, I was there at AC/DC and they were amazing. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's different. I'm sure it's different live, but the footage, they just look old, man.
They were awesome.
And like,
they were awesome.
Yeah,
I've
seen footage from the 70s when they're just going full on. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Ozzy can barely fucking walk. He's not going to be jumping around like he used to.
I don't think they'll do it. Every time Ozzy gets, spruiked to be a part of a project, it never happens. I think he's about gone in that respect.
I think it won't be a full-scale tour. It'll be a bunch of shows.
No, but I think even they've tried teasing just
seriously, do you remember the last few months of Motorhead? Like, let me do a couple of songs and then have to be taken off. It was sad. Just fucking leave it.
I agree. Let
we can get into that.
Their memories, and that's
it. I think so.
It's a fucking sad show.
Yeah, you don't want to discolor, but then again, who knows? It's not up to us. But anyway, we could go round and around that, but I'm not going to let us. Sharon. Sharon here saying hello, everyone. Hope you've been well. Hey. We have been, but he's also followed up with, I'd name my kid Morning Wood if I were a first-time dad.
Yeah.
Of course you would, Vinny. Of course you would. And Nicole's here. Good to see you. Evening, or good to see you, Nicole. Hopefully you've been well as well, and hopefully you get to hang around for a bit more of the show this time. And hopefully everything's been well. I know you've been going up and down through the ringer a bit lately, so hopefully, fingers crossed, things are improving for you on your end over there. Alrighty. Onto what we've renamed the Hot Rocks segment of the show, which crosses over into our playlist called Hot Rocks, which is where we have people voting and nominating and basically our top 10 songs of the week as decided by, us and Patreon people voting on things. So first up to the shout outs part of the show here tonight. And got to give a shout out to Mr. Big, Up On You, and Goodbye June, Pile of Bones. They're both in for their second week, coming in at number 9 and 10, I think they were. And then you have Those Damn Crows, which I think is about number 6 from memory, with Let's Go Psycho. That's been in there for about 3 weeks or so now. So well done to Those Damn Crows. Yep. The new additions for this week coming in, I think it's 7 and 8, were Joanne Shaw Taylor with Wishing Well and Sinner's Blood with Enemy. They're the new additions this week that didn't quite make the top 5, which then, of course, leads us into the top 5, which are the songs that get randomly assigned to us. And then we sort of see how we all went with it and if we all agree that we liked it or not. So this is going to be a bit of fun here tonight. I get to go first this week. I got the number 1 song last week. I get number 5 this week with Dreamkillers, Friendship Under Fire. There are reference tracks for all of these in the description box. So if you miss it in the chat, make sure you check them out in the description box. And I'll put them in a link in the chat as well. But this is Dreamkillers, Friendship Under Fire. It's the latest from the Brisbane band that have been around for a while now, I think since 1991 from memory. They're currently releasing a new song each month, and this is their latest in that sort of run of things. This was a quote-unquote THRS top-up track where we don't get quite the number of new songs we want, so I have a whole list of things, a lot of Australian releases that go into the pile and they get voted on, and this one made it to number 5 this week, so I'm pretty happy with that as a top-up track. This is a nice and gritty song. It's metal-edged, but there's loads of groove in there. And these guys, like I said, have been around since 1991 in some way, shape, or form. They've had a few breaks here and there, but they've been doing it for a long time. Now, there's nothing complicated about this. Let's just get it on. It's very direct, very simple, very easy song to get into. But I love the lyrics. The chugging riff is cool about it. There's a real edge to it. There's cut to this song, which is nice. There's a raw side to the sound, which I think works for these guys. It leans into the vibe and the feel of it all really nicely. I just think it's not the most, you don't want this sort of stuff really polished up. You just want that gritty vibe. I think the video suits that, goes hand in hand with that as well. It's got a solid solo. The lead work across the song is actually very, very cool too. So yeah, I liked it a lot. That and also the layering and the production. I said you didn't want to polish it up, but there's some little things in there, like the lead work and there's some layering touches done in production that sort of contrast against the semi-spoken vocal delivery, and I thought that was a nice sort of contrasting counterpoint there, which is a cool little element to the song. Surprisingly good hook as well. Even now I can hear that the chorus and the verse, the hook in this is really cool. Like it just gets stuck in your head, and I can see why it did so well in the voting, because even if it's not quote-unquote your favorite style of music, it's going to get stuck in your head anyway, and that's the mark of a well-written, well-performed song. Very cool. I'm not an expert on this band, but I have liked everything I've heard because I've had a few things of theirs sent across the email or the desk, whatever you want to call it, over the time. So very cool. I've liked what I've heard so far. So I want to go and check out more. It's a band that I'll be digging into deeper, but I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I'm giving it 8 shots this week. 8 shots for me. So let's see how everyone else went with this first. And Jeff, we'll throw to you. How'd you go? How many shots?
Well, this song does get stuck in your head. I can actually hear it now as I'm thinking about it, and it's kind of rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest. I didn't think it was that great. I don't think it's bad, but it's just not my style of music. It's kind of almost borderline punk.
It's got a punk edge to it.
Yeah. And so I think because of that, I'm going to detract a couple notches, couple shots. So I'm going to give it 7 shots just because it's not terrible, but it's not great in my opinion for me.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's just, not everything, horses for courses, not everything can appeal to everybody.
All right. Dave?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I get the punk thing, but it's not annoying punk. It's actually, they know what they're doing. It's not by accident. They're actually playing what they want to, which is always cool. It has stripped down raw energy, high energy, which is cool. So yeah, 8 shots. Cool song.
Nice. Conrad, you get around to this one?
I did, yes.
Oh, cool.
I like this band. I got a soft spot for this band. And if you're in, as you're up in Queensland, you might get a chance to see them because they're from Brisbane, if I'm not wrong, Andrew.
Yeah.
So you might get a chance to see them. Yeah, no, I gave this seven shots for me. This was solid. I liked it. And lyrics like "fuck stain." Well,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. That was cool.
Nothing but a fuck stain. I was like, yeah, that's cool.
Nothing like a good, yeah.
I feel like a good fuck thing.
So, while Belle
Oh,
tries to
shit.
compose herself, does that change your score at all? You're having a good run jumping in today.
Oh shit!
Morningwood, fuck stain, it's all on, Belle.
I've had one of these nights before, haven't we?
Yeah,
Well,
no.
Belle's gone.
She's
The
gone.
hamster died.
how's that for timing?
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's just annoying. All right, let's see what the audience say while we wait for Belle to come
That's
back.
how you get out of saying you're.
I know, right? That's just how to say nothing. All right, Nicole says kid surgery is scheduled once again for Monday the 4th, Monday 4th attempt as it keeps getting cancelled. That sucks. Hopefully
That's
resolved.
frustrating.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Good luck,
Damn.
Nicole. Genuinely, hopefully that's just shit. Hopefully it gets done. Michael said, "Love Dreamkillers. 8 shots. This track shows their depth of experience." That's a good way to put it as well, Michael. I enjoyed that one. Nicole says, "So many genres in this band. It's amazing. They are very, very cool." Bella's completely dropped out, so we'll hopefully get her back in here in a second. Vinny says, "Quite a unique sound. 7 shots. Cool." Jolie says 6, so we're getting there. Kat says Dreamkillers 6-ish. Can't even get him to confirm. Here we go, Belle. We got you back. And Michael says, "Hey, Vinny, let
You're
Belle
back,
speak
Belle.
before you take her offline." So and Jolie's gone, "Oh, Belle gave the circle of hell 0." So there we go. Anyway, Belle, we've padded for you. I told you we'd cover for you.
Oh,
How'd you go?
thank you.
Dreamkillers?
Dreamkillers. I wrote, if you played me this and told me it was your demo your friend recorded in 1991 using their school's band room equipment, I'd believe you. So if that's what they were going for, I'll give it a 10. But if not, then it gets a 4 from me.
Wow, the hatchet is back.
Wow,
The
okay.
hatchet is back, people.
That's fair. I mean, they're going for the raw sound, so there's no fucking cut and polish.
Yeah, but the chorus does
No
get
one-
stuck in your head, like Andrew
No one
said.
can accuse me.
I can't hear it.
No one
There's
can
no,
accuse
there's
me
no
of being
flash
mean.
production. It's just raw. Let the music do what it does. So
Yeah.
I think
But
that's
we
what they
had-
were going for.
Yeah, we had that once before. Electric.
Oh well. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
You
We're gonna
have
keep
fleas,
going.
Conrad.
Let's see how we go with the.
Sorry?
we got a few other
Like
songs
had
to
fleas, man.
What?
No,
But you're
it's just
scratching
hot
like you
here.
had fleas. It's hot. Okay.
It's summer
It's hot
there.
here. It's hot here, mate. It's warm.
And he did just
You know.
dry shampoo. Don't forget, he did just
Yeah.
dry
I
shampoo.
did just try
It's
to
summer
He's
in
just
India.
working it through
Fucking
his
flaky.
coming. I'm working what I have little left. I have to work with.
Give it a full body smash.
I have to floof it.
Oh,
I have to
I
floof
think
it
we've
up.
already ascertained who wins that contest earlier.
oh God. Here we go. What do we got here? Michael says, "I apologize, Vinny." And Craig's gone, "Hey, y'all, good to see you, Craig," as well. And Vinny's gone, "The rusty hatchet is in the house." Yes, she definitely is.
Yes.
And she'll probably be taking that hatchet to her internet connection if things keep going this way. Anyway, on to the next song. Man family here, g'day. Well, good to see you as well. Hopefully you're having a good week. And we've got more to get through as with this one. But anyway, next song is Sisters Doll, Don't Give Up on Us.
Oh, there we go.
This is Dave's assignment, so I'll get to that in a second. But this is the latest single from the Melbourne band who, with this song, went from a 3-piece to a 4-piece. There's apparently another album in the works. I think it's due in 2025, but I could be wrong.
January.
Yep. Oh, January. Okay, cool. It's a cool thing here that we've been following this band for a long time, in particular Dave and myself, and I know that Dave is a very big fan, so it's cool to get this randomly. I randomly assign these songs every week, and just lucked out that Dave got this one. We mentioned these guys obviously earlier tonight, and we've mentioned this particular single in previous shows as well. But yeah, this is another top-up song, made it number 4 this week. So Dave, over to you.
Yeah. As Andrew said, I'm a massive fan of this band. I saw them when Bryce had no tattoos and Ozzy wasn't allowed in the pubs that they were playing. They were very young. That's over 10 years ago. I love this song. all the songs that have come from this upcoming album are really good. They have Max Watts. They're headlining in January 28th, I think it is, to launch the album. The listening party is the day or two beforehand. So late January is the new album. And from what I hear, there's going to be some really heavy stuff on there as well. So we've had some, this is the 4th single. We've had some leading into that. Yeah, so it sounds really good. Right from the opening right from the opening note, this is a very joyous song. The lyrics immediately bring you right into the story of what they're going for. There's some complexities within this relationship that he's describing, but hopefully everything will be strong enough to survive. Just right away, you're on board with what's happening with the emotive context of this story. I love how the energy builds throughout the song, and as they add more layers and it becomes a bit more bigger, and extra singers towards the end, different layers, all that stuff. The solo is really good, really paced and melodic. If you've seen them live or you've been following the band, you know Ozzy can really fucking shred when he wants to, and this could have easily turned into a power ballad shred fest, and it didn't, which is cool. It didn't need to go there. It's just very melodic, very laid out, and leads nicely into the little bit at the end when all the group vocals are all together. Sage's first appearance on bass on the recorded track. I'm guessing he's going to be on. They'll probably recut the bass tracks maybe for the songs they've already released.
I would say so.
Yeah, because now he's an official part of the band. But 4th single from the upcoming album, based on what I've heard so far. It's very diverse, and there's apparently heavier stuff in the works, as I mentioned. So this gets 9 shots. Cool song, cool band. If you haven't seen them, fucking see them live. They're fantastic.
All right. Nicely done. All right. I've got the randomizer out. So, Belle, you're up next. Are you going to put the axe in again?
We'll see. All right.
Jesus.
Holy hatchet, Batman. That's where I thought you were going with them. Anyway. All right, this is Doll. This is a beautiful love song about distance and yearning, which you would think, given the theme, would be melancholy, but it's not. It's actually beat with a fun sing-along chorus, and I give it 8 shots.
Nice.
It's a good song.
Cool. Well done. All righty. Conrad, across the pond, what have you got for us?
Okay, this was Sisters. I wrote a little blurb on this one.
Nice.
Yeah, this was uplifting. It had an uplifting vibe to it. There's some orchestral stuff going on in the background. I could hear some strings, like orchestral strings. Cellos were being used. I think it's possible. I think Triple M would be all over this. And I'm surprised.
It played one of their songs. I could not believe it.
There.
Wow.
What's that?
They played the last Sisters Doll single.
They did.
There, Triple M played the Sisters Doll single.
This is definitely Triple M's sort of audience for sure. I think that they'd go for this. So yeah, I gave this 7 shots.
Nice. Cool. All right. Well, I'll follow up next, and then we'll go to Jeff last on this round. I know that, like, you read the backstory of this particular song, and it's been kicking around for a while and sort of been worked and reworked, and it's just sort of been one of those songs that has been a labor of love, and they've been waiting for the right time to get it out. And I think they've hit the right time to get this song out, to be honest. I think it's one of those ones where you say it's perfect for radio, and it's perfect for radio in the best way possible. This could be like the big breakthrough moment for this band. They've got so many good songs and so many songs that have been deserving of that sort of love in the past, but this is one of those ones that could definitely be that breakthrough moment for them. And I hope it does, to be honest. It's catchy, emotive, all the things that you guys have spoken about already. It's a really damn good song, a lot of heart to it, and I even like the little vocal crack on the vocal. They kept it in, didn't try and clean it up and put a perfect polish in there. I thought it was.
I noticed that.
Yeah, it was a great little touch in there that I really enjoyed too. So lots of little details, and again, the first thing with the youngest brother in there as well. But anyway, I hope it gets the well-deserved recognition for these guys. I gave it 9 shots from me. So Jeff, final say on this song.
Yeah, well, listen, I didn't like this song, and but it's not for the reason that you might think. It's actually because it's a really, really good song, and it actually affected me emotionally. I felt I was actually pulled into the song, and I've been exactly in this spot, and yeah, it was kind of heart-wrenching actually for me. So I'm going to give it 9 shots, and but it wasn't a joyous occasion for me. It was actually made me really quite sad. So so that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
And so, like, kudos to them. I mean, it hit the fucking mark like an arrow, bullseye.
Yeah.
And if that's what they're aiming for, then they scored a. Really, I should give it a 10. Really, I should give it a 10. I'll give it a 10.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Aw.
cool though. It can make some people happy, can make some
Yeah.
people sad.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Thanks. It did make me sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the
So-
power of music, though, when you break
That is
it
the
down.
power of
And I-
music. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that with us too. It's easy to get, hide behind a facade and stuff. And I'm glad you didn't do it because it
Yeah.
gives another side or another experience to a song just as impactful in a different way, which is
Yeah, like so.
important.
I shouldn't say I didn't like it. I
No,
liked it.
I get-
It's a good song, but it,
Yeah.
it had an effect on me that didn't have an effect on you guys.
Yeah.
And so for that, it kind of like that. Don't bring me down. I
Yeah.
did. Fucking, I was
Bruce.
way down low with this one.
Oh man.
Sorry,
Oh,
bad
no.
vocals. Yeah. But yeah.
That's all right, Jeff. You've come a long way since those days, and we all love you anyway. So you're all
Oh,
good.
well,
man.
thank you
So,
guys.
yeah.
Appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, Sister's Doll. Good job.
Nice. All right. Comments going back a little bit here. Nicole, when Connor was zhuzhing his hair, fluff. So there we go. There's some love for that. Guru's here. Greeting rockers across the plane.
Hey.
Good to see you as always, man. Hopefully you're keeping well over there. Michael is here saying, hey, all.
Bye,
Good
mate.
to see you
Bye, homie.
as well. There we go. Vinny has gone 8 shots. Took me back to when bands I listened to growing up would release their customary softer side. There we go. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
Michael
The
followed up
second
6
single was
shots.
always a ballad.
Yep. 8 shots. Basher says, awesome live band, 8 shots. Jolie gave it a 7. Kaz says, yeah, I'd put it on my playlist, 8 shots. So there we go. David's here. G'day. All good to see you as well. And Craig has gone the 7 shots with a handful of
Thank you,
peanuts.
Chris.
Just wish they were a bit bigger and longer on the solo. Well, that is a thing, but I think at the same time, it is timed just right for that radio impact as well, if you take that into account. But
They'll
there was
probably
room
extend
for
the
that.
drive.
Yeah, they will. I'm pretty sure they will. But anyway, on to the next one. The next one is 6th Century, Gods of Our Own. Link in the comments and description box, so you know what to do. People, go and check it out. This is the latest offering from the Pennsylvania band. They have a bunch of other singles and an EP out there if you like this. This is a band we've discussed here before. We've also played them on TV a couple of times. Kathy, Kat, who is in the chat here tonight, got to give her a bit of a shout out here for her hard work in pushing this band, making sure we're aware of their latest releases when they come out. It's only because of her that we are aware of them at all, to be honest. And so yeah, we are happy to give them some time when these things come up. Now, this was another top-up song. Again, I have that little list of songs that I throw in there, and they get a chance to vote on it if we don't get enough new nominations. So this made it to number 3 this week. So out of all the songs we went through, it got to number 3. As such, randomly assigned to Conrad. How did you go with 6th Century?
I've got some notes here about this one.
Awesome.
I wrote notes about them all, obviously.
Yep.
Here we go. This was warning material, German repetitive solo back. What's that? 6. Don't give up. Hang on. What was the song?
Gods of Our Own.
Century. Gods of Our Own by 6th Century.
Yeah.
Oh, this was. It starts off quite sort of thrashy power metal-y and quite complex. There's some interesting drum. I really like the drumming. And then it hits We Want to Be Disturbed territory.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a bit of a gear change, yeah.
Yeah, there's a real, and I'm not sure if it quite works. I don't know if it quite works. I got annoyed because I thought it was just too much like We Want to Be Disturbed, and that just annoyed me a bit. I was like, come on, do something original. Just don't try and sound like somebody else, you know. So I think that kind of that annoyed me a little bit. And it's overproduced. It's really overproduced. It's compressed to fuck. And I'm getting really annoyed with a modern sound these days. These bands these days are compressing everything and making everything really polished. And I'd like to hear some production where let's go back to Mutt Lange's Back in Black, and which is brilliantly produced, mind you, but you get the vibe that there's a band there in the room with you. You get the feeling that band is right there in the room with you.
Yeah.
You want the
I
ring
want to
out.
hear that again. I want to hear that again. I want to feel like, oh my God, there's a fucking band in here in the room with me playing, you know, and I'm not getting that. And that's annoying me a bit with a lot of modern production today. So it did it annoyed me a little. I think, look, with time, these guys with time will get, because the musicianship's there. I definitely think, well, certainly the drumming's there. So, they probably will over time get a lot better at songwriting, and it'll work out for them, I think, a bit better. So what did I give this? I gave this 4. I give this 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy.
Being a bit
Oh,
being a bit
that's
brutal
all right.
there. I'm getting into Bell territory.
Living up to your name, Thor.
Yeah, I used to be the guillotine here, and now it's
it's moving around now. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow up. It kicks off with a bang, this song. So I think it's got a great riff, and I love the vocals, to be honest. I think they're great. I think the energy is fun. I like the groove in it. Yes, Disturbed is in there. You can't deny that one. But I think there's more to them that by a long way as well. I especially like the contrast between like the verse and the chorus in that regard. Big hook. I like the emotive delivery of the song overall. I think that I get what Conrad's saying about the traditional or classic mixing, but for this style of music, for the modern day approach on things, the tones are good, the balance is right. Yes, you don't get the same ring out for being in the room. It is very snappy, but I thought sonically it sounds good. And I think it's just one of those songs that actually, for me, it sort of stayed with me a bit more than I thought. It was actually one of those ones I've listened to this song a lot, and I'm keep going back to it. I'm very much happy with this song. So for me, the backing and the game vocals, the gear change, all little things in this song made it very, very cool. I think for the style of music, they know how to use the light and shade and dynamics. So I don't know. I think a lot of our audience will enjoy this one. Maybe not. If you're the old school of Conrad, then let us know. But if you're more like me, then let us know that as well. But for me, I'm going to go the other way. I'm giving
grumpy old fuck like me.
Well, you've got other people to get to yet, so we're getting points and counterpoint. Let's see what the consensus is after this. But I'm going to go 9. I'm giving this a 9 shots. I really did enjoy this one quite a bit. So that's my take on it. But let's do the rounds and let's go to Dave next.
Yeah, I came in halfway through Conrad's review. I actually agree with a lot of what Conrad says, and as if you regularly watch what we do, I fucking hate. I hate modern production. It sucks all the life out of songs. I fucking hate it. It's all snap to grid. I want a mistake. I want something that's not 100%. With all the technology we have now, when people transcribe songs for YouTube, they actually put the song into whatever mixer they use, whatever. And the beat isn't steady from start to finish all the way through those old songs. They're human. They fuck it up by 1 or 2 beats per minute from chorus to each chorus is different because it's all organic. It has that feel. So I hate that people don't.
Bands use Pro Tools.
Pro Tools and all these fucking beat doctors, they actually go through and you can pick any 4 bars and snap it anywhere. It sucks. But crap production can't save a good song can shine through crap production. Good production can't save a crap song. The talent is definitely there for this band. They know how to write. They can certainly play. The lyrics were good, so it all shines through regardless of. The problem is in 2024, people are conditioned to hear music a certain way after 10, 20 years of this crap. Even in the pop world, if you can sing, you still need to auto-tune your vocals because people are conditioned to hear it that way. So with all this snap to grid shit that we've had for the past 15 years, if you write something and release it that doesn't have it, people will be saying, why the fuck can't you play properly? We've sucked all the life out of music to the point where people can't accept it the way it used to be. So you're fucked if you don't do it. So I like this band. I like this song, giving it 9 shots. I would like to hear an organic production of this, and I'd like to hear this band live. But that's the times that we lived in. We fucked music, and we were happy to do it. So these are the consequences of our actions, people.
The real challenge will be, can they pull it off live? Can they?
I think they can. I think the chops.
Yeah, I reckon they can. They're a rock band. I didn't know America had new rock bands, to be honest. All the other rock bands.
I think they could. I think
it's pretty impressive.
I think
they're definitely a good band. And according to their bio, they went viral on TikTok. So modern ways of doing things actually works. So yeah, I'm a dinosaur. I prefer the old ways, but I gave it 9 shots. I like the song.
Yeah, that's a strength of the writing then. Alrighty, Belle, bless you for before, and it's your turn.
Thank you. I just wrote the singer sounds like David Draven, and the song was a fair banger, and I gave it 8 shots.
Nice.
Cool.
We've done the debate. All right. Cool. Jeff, final word.
Yeah, look, we've played these guys on the TV side, and
this song
I really enjoyed them, and so yeah, I get what everyone's saying about the production. It is all snap to grid. It is perfect. There's no mistakes. You could listen to that 100 times back to front and not hear one mistake, which means that they're a good band, but they've also it's just produced in a way that's just modern production values, and it's a shame. It's a shame because it seems like more and more bands are doing it. As the home recording thing nowadays, bands don't even need to go into a studio. They can just do it at one of their guys' houses, right? And so look, I get all that, but having said all that, I love the song. I like this band. They're really, really good. I really like them a lot. And so I'm going to give it 9 shots as well. I think that okay. So they made a mistake, maybe. From a certain perspective, it's a mistake. But from another perspective,
mistakes are cool.
I get it. Based on what you said, Dave, that demo that I gave you of my music, you'd fucking love. That's a 10 out of 10 because there's no production.
The playing was good, man. That was cool.
Yeah, I get it. But look, it's just So 9 shots.
Okay. Time out on that. I will say there is exception to the rule, and that is unless it's black metal where it sounds like it's recorded on a tape deck in a basement.
Electric Wizard.
Yeah. Let's not go there, man.
We're not going to do that debate. We've done enough debating tonight. Let's we've done this one, but we got the scores. Let's see how we go with the audience here. Okay, Vinny starts off here. 6 shots. Any other week it would have been a 7 or an 8. Nominations are really high quality. This week it is a tough week. I will say that. Michael says 7 shots, Connor. I think I agree with you calling it overproduced. I thought that on first listen, but not a bad track. Jolie, 8 shots. I really like them, so there we go. Benjamin's gone very much like Papa Roach. Okay, I don't know a lot of their stuff, so I can't speak to that. But okay, cool.
Is he a ghost singer?
No, I don't know. Craig says, I know there's a crowd for this, but I'm not part of it these days. The modern industrial metal is lost on me. 3 shots from Craig. Vinny is gone. I think there's still an ear for this style of music, perhaps not in Trump's case. Oh, God, tin ear stuff here. Let's not go there, Vinny, tonight. And Kat says, yeah, they are good live. Appreciate the honest comments. You know I'll give them a 10. Thanks, guys. I'll get them here one day. And if you do, happily go and see them as well, Kat. I know you've been championing, and we'll just sort of keep doing it. Keep sending them through to us. We're happy to keep hearing it. I love hearing it. So just keep sending them through. New music is always good music as far as we are concerned. It's good to check it out and see what's going on in the world out there, but we do have to keep moving on. So next up is in the comments and the description box, you have Black Kanyon, So Low. This is the latest from the Perth band, from the upcoming second EP. Not sure when that's due out yet, but there is an EP coming. This band, for long-time viewers of the show, features members of Hail Mary and Amber Down. So there's some names we haven't talked about on the show for a long time. But I'm not sure when that second EP is coming, like I was saying, but there are plenty of other music out there to go and check out if you do enjoy this particular track. Jeff was assigned to this one. It was nominated by Vinny. So Vinny, time for you to get the feedback. Made it to number 2 this week, got to the number 2 spot. So Jeff, how about it?
Well deserved. I think this is a really good song. I've never heard these guys, so this is the first time for me anyway. I liked it. I thought it was well done. It was produced pretty well. The chorus is a little bit repetitive. I will give it that. So I take away a couple points on that, but I think I get what they're going for. And it sounded good. It's something that I wouldn't have any hard time listening to again. And so that's a good thing for me, because sometimes you hear something once, you're like, okay, that's enough. And then this is not that. So I'm going to give this 8 shots, and I hope that I hear more from these guys because I liked it.
Cool. All righty. Conrad, I've drawn your name next. I saw you nodding with the repetitive chorus comment, so let's see what you've got to say on this one.
Yeah, not a fan. I'm sorry to say.
No,
it was uninspiring, generic, boring, repetitive. 4 shots.
Wow. Here we go.
You're succinct. Kaboom.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what Dave has to say
Sorry.
then.
Vinny's not going to be impressed with me now.
No, you got to cut you off next, so we're going to see what
Yeah.
You know, a few minutes ago, me and Conrad were like that. We were kind of of the same mind, but now, no,
Not
fuck you,
anymore.
man. No, this is cool. Good driving groove, good rock vocals too. The heavy part towards the end, when they kick in with that heavy part, I thought that was cool. It got some nice change up leading towards the end. But yeah, this was really cool. It got stuck in my head. You have 9 shots. Simple, straight up, heavy rock and roll.
Cool.
Bell's gone again.
Yeah, Bell's hamster is suffering the wrath of an axe, I think.
Clear.
Hatchet.
So we'll see what happens on the hatchet. Yes. Look, I'll go to mine, and we'll go to comments, and we'll sort of see how things play out. But I really like the drums and the bass in this one. Out of all the songs we've had tonight, this is the one that really leans into that rhythm section side of things, and I thought they did that really well. It's got great rumble. I love the bottom end on this mix.
Indeed. Yeah.
That, in contrast, makes the melody and the guitar work sort of really leap out, and it has that really big organic sound to it. So I enjoyed those sorts of things. Reminds me, Dave, I don't know if you get the same thing. Remember Voodoo Cane? Reminds me a little bit of them.
Yep.
So I think Bell's going to try and jump in again. But yeah, they're a Melbourne band that we loved years ago on the show. But that great groove, great hook. I love the change up in the rhythm as well. Like, there's a really cool sort of gear change in this one. So yeah, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. While we drag Bell back in, there we go. You're not happy?
Hey Bell, welcome to the show again.
I don't know what keeps happening. It just keeps.
It's all good. Don't stress.
It's Elon. It's Elon.
Yeah, he's having a meltdown again.
It's probably Elon. Yeah,
he's having another meltdown on Twitter. Anyway, for Black Canyon, I enjoyed it a lot as well, Dave. So I'm with you. 9 shots for me. I'm having a good week. Cool. So I'm having a very, very good week. And Bell, with that said, over to you.
Black Canyon. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Am I still here?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was cool. Went really, really hard, and I like that. So I gave it 7 shots.
Nice. Wow. Cool. There we go. All righty. And let's see what the audience have to say then, because we'll move on here. Vinny says, calling up an airstrike for London right now. That might be. So there we go. That's probably going to get a banned online now. This whole video
burning at the moment anyway.
Yeah, Michael's gone, like this track, 8 shots, quality mix, great song. There we go. Jolie says 7 shots. Vinny says Bell just messaged me, she gives it a 9. I think you might have been wrong there. Jolie's gone, I thought it was 11, Vinny Vincefield. So Vinny Vincent lol. So yeah, there we go. Kat says Black Canyon, liking it, 7 shots. And Craig says 7 shots, love the groove. So there we go. Some nice comments on some consistent comments on the rhythm.
It does
section.
have good groove, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Alrighty, one more song to go, and Bell, we'll get to you in just a second because this is your assignment this week. This is The Warning with 6 Feet Deep. Link in the comments and description. This one comes from the Mexican band's 4th studio album, Keep Me Fed, which is out now. So if you like this, go and check it out. We've been getting a lot of push for these guys from different sectors, like from within Patreon, from outside. There's certain viewers of ours have been really championing these guys for a while, and it's good to see them getting a bit more hype behind them. Dave and I loved their last album, Era, in 2022. We both gave that a review because we loved that one to bits. And Jeff and myself plan to review this album very, very shortly. Keep me fed. Now it's time to see how Bell went with it. This was nominated by John. So John is one of the newer additions to our Patreon audience, and he has nominated it, and it got to number 1 this week. So well done to John picking the number 1 song. But Bell, this was assigned to you. How'd you go?
This band, I know that they have steadily and quickly gained quite a large following over the last couple of years. But I've actually only heard one other song by them. I know they've been around. I've been aware of them. I know that there's a couple of people in Patreon that are, I think Michael Gow's a massive.
Yeah.
I think
Darren as well.
Yeah, there's a particular YouTube subscriber as well, which always plugs this band too. There's a few of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean they're great, but yeah, I think you guys might have reviewed when I first heard them a song of theirs like a couple of years ago.
The song's called Sick.
Maybe.
Oh, no, it was about
this album.
Something about money.
Money. Yeah,
money. Yeah. I like that. But that's it. I haven't
Yeah.
heard any other until this. So, but anyway, this song rocks. Given it's just a 3-piece band, they have such a full sound.
Yeah.
Really, really full. Particularly the guitars. The tone is beautifully fuzzy, but at the same time rich, and the bass is super beefy. And that's just the sound coming out of their instruments. The song itself, too. Undeniably heavy, a bit grungy, very melodic, and all these things are in the right places. The riffs are catchy, so is the chorus melody. It has such a great hook, which got stuck in my head, which I'm fine with. The vocals are perfect, and they have such a relaxed ease about them stylistically. And I know this band is quite young, and even though they've been playing for a few years now professionally, the music carries with it the sound of a real experience that goes well beyond years.
Agree.
Look, I can't fault this song. It was structurally perfect. It flowed like a dream. The execution and the mix were spot on. It was awesome, perfect even, but to get a 9 or a 10 for me, a song needs to have something extra and unexpected, which I didn't think this had, so I'll give it 8 shots.
Okay, cool. Well, fair enough. Cool. Nice thoughts. I've drawn my name out next. I'll go next now. These ladies are stunningly consistent. Dave and I did the album Era a couple of years ago, and I've just been admiring their work and consistency before and after that. I think this is a very, very solid band. The growth has been wonderful to watch over the years, which is cool as well. They can fucking play. This song is so tight. Like, I love how tight they are in this particular song. But the whole album, listen to the whole album this week, and it's spoiler alert, it's a good album. They've got a great groove. This song's got a great hook, like Bella said. If you like this, go and check out anything else in this band, because if you like this one track, you're going to like a lot of their stuff. Easy to become a fan of this band. Very easy to become a fan of this band, and I hope they keep rising as they have been for the last little bit, and hopefully become one of those household names sooner rather than later, because this is a band that could really sort of, kick some ass and take some names as things move on. But anyway, I love this one. I think it's great. I love it. If you watch the video, there's a cool little twist at the very end of the video as well, which is a nice little moment there if you watch that. But anyway, I gave this 9 shots. I think it's a killer track. I think it's one of those ones that I really enjoyed. But Jeff, you and I are going to chat about this one on Sunday in theory. How'd you go with this song though for this week?
Yeah. Look, everything that I've heard from these guys, I've just loved. I think that they're just a super, super tight band. A 3-piece as well. They're making more music than they should be, and of course, I'm no stranger to that style of music, being a big fan of Rush, and I can almost hear experience in here where it sounds like there's more people playing than just 3. So I'm a big fan of that. I really like this song. I think it's a great song. It's got groove. It's got power. It's got some grit. I like these guys. So 9 shots from me, and I'm hoping that they just keep it up. And there's a review coming. So those of you, keep an eye out for that one.
Yep. Alrighty, Dave, you're up next.
Yeah, this is awesome. As you mentioned, we did the album a couple of years ago. That was fantastic. Everything they release, everything they do is just it's fucking stellar. Excellent song from an excellent young band. I give it 8 shots. I have to tell Jade that this new album is out. She's a big fan of them too. She's away on camp at the moment, and I miss her. She's away. No, she's up near the Grampians. I miss her. But when we did the album, or when the single Money dropped, I was playing it, and she picked up on that. She's like, "This song's cool, Dad. What's this?" And so I hooked her up with the band, and she's been. But I love that she's got strong female role models that she idolizes, which is cool. Bands and people, actresses, but they're very, very cool young band. If you don't know them, get on them, because I'll not literally get on. You can get arrested for that shit.
You'll get in trouble for that.
But I appreciate their music from afar, a safe distance.
Social distancing is still a thing, folks.
They're a good band. Seriously, listen to them. Cool song.
Alrighty, we'll get Dave off the hook and go to Conrad and see what he's got to say about this one. Close out the segment.
I like this one.
Cool.
This is my favorite song of all of them, actually.
Nice.
Out of the whole lot of all of the songs that we got submitted, This was definitely my fave of all of them. I like the it was very modern and fresh and inspiring. It was nice to hear something original sounding for a change. So yeah, I like this. I gave this 9 shots.
Wow.
9 shots. Yeah,
that's cool. There we go.
And that if that 9 shots for me, it has. I don't give 9 shots away easily.
No.
They knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip that.
Didn't quite knock it out the park. Quite knock it out the park. It got close.
Hit it for 6. Hit it for 6. Okay.
It headed for 6. It headed into the crowd. It got into the crowd. Put it that way.
That's okay. That's good.
Yep. That's good, man. No, I'm glad that there we go. We got one song we all agreed on. One song this week we all agreed on.
Good God, buy a Tetsuo ticket.
I know, right? It doesn't happen very often, so remember that one.
They don't go up to 6. We won't win.
And if you win, you have to share the takings with us.
Share.
I already said I'd do that. Absolutely would do that.
No. Well, we're getting some love in the audience comments too here. Vinny's gone 10 shots, all in on them. So there we go.
All in on. Yeah, you can get arrested for that, dude.
Yeah. Michael's gone, can't go wrong with the Mexican Sisters. 8 shots. Want to see them live. They would be fun live, I reckon.
Yes.
Mick has gone 6 feet deep. Film clip is a big up yours to all the haters that they wouldn't make it as a band, and I think well done to them on that note. Also, the film clip also has a lot of Easter eggs. The dedicated fans will spot a few of the most notable references are that the clothes, the younger versions of the Warning are wearing the clothes they wore when they appeared on the Ellen show when they got their where they got the money from Ellen to attend Berklee College of Music. Wow, there we go.
Really?
Michael's got the goods here, folks. There is also a reference to the video game Rock Band that started it all for the Warning when their parents bought the game for them and saw how much they loved playing each instrument. So the parents asked if they'd like to play the real thing, and that's how the Warning began. So there we go. I figured I knew someone would come through. We've got some diehard fans. Michael,
super fan.
Yeah, you are the real one.
So it wasn't like that South Park episode where the kids are playing Guitar Hero and Stan comes up. I can teach you to play these on a real guitar. Oh, fuck off. That's lame.
No, not quite. Other way around. Vinny says they'd be great on tour with the Gems. You have to call the event Bitch Fest or something. Just add L7 while you're at it.
I think the Warning and Sisters doll would be cool.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I think
3 sisters and 3 brothers. Well, 4 brothers now.
Yeah, but I
One
would
brother.
Look out for these. If they come to London, I'll definitely look out for them.
Yeah, I think
If they come to play London, I'd like to go see them.
I agree. But I think a lineup with these guys playing with the Pretty Reckless would be fucking cool for mine.
Yeah.
That would be a cool lineup.
Just mentioned
what have we got?
I've got them playing across the road from me. There's a
Oh,
venue
wow.
the venue
Of course.
is like a stone's throw away.
Aren't every band playing in your backyard, man?
Well, they're playing across. There's a good live music venue across the road where we get quite a lot of decent bands.
So you're getting closer and closer to actually living in a venue.
It's about. Well, I've just applied for a job there. Funnily
Oh,
enough.
well, there you go.
I'm not going home. Fuck a lot of you.
I only live across the road, so it's,
Yeah,
Hey, over time and they'll sleep here.
there was a job advertised, and I went, "Oh, that I could do that." So hopefully, I'll land it.
Well, good luck,
nice and
man.
close by. I
Good
don't have to travel
Hope you
very
get it.
far,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of
Fingers
decent
crossed.
bands that I like, so
Yeah.
it made sense.
Well,
Yeah.
genuinely,
I should apply for a job at a
seriously,
brewery. That'd be
good
cool.
luck, man. I hope you get the gig because I know that things are a bit up and
That'd
down
be nice
over there.
and
So
easy.
fingers
Nice
crossed.
easy gig for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
and I
good.
get to see
Fingers
some cool
crossed.
bands.
All right. Jolie has given it 9 shots. Michael also says the Warnings played Wacken open air in Germany yesterday to a massive crowd, and the reception of the band sounded like the crowd absolutely loved their performance. He's going to share the live clip in the Facebook and Discord group.
Thank you.
Please get around
Nice.
it. Thank you. Vinny says great stage presence for such a young band. From the live videos I've seen, yes, I agree. Kevin says, speaking of bands that sound like more than 3 people, I'm going to see Aristocrats tonight. Can't wait. Wow, that'd be cool,
Aristocrats
man.
are great. Yeah.
Enjoy. That'll be cool.
Oh,
Vinny's gone hard to please that old British fart. Particularly impressed with 9 shots. So there we go.
Grumpy.
Oh, here we go. Michael's gone. The Warning toured with Hailstorm and the Pretty Reckless a few years ago in the US. That would have been a fucking great lineup for them.
Ah, yes. There was a photo.
Yeah, Craig says, pick of the night for me, but it just stops dead after the second chorus. I wish it had something in the middle to elevate it to the next level. It also needed just a little separation of instruments instead of a loud wall of sound during the chorus. I'm still giving it 8 shots, though. So there we go. Craig's getting some feedback, but some good love for it as well. And Vinny says, soon enough, Connor will chain himself to a set of Marshall amps.
Hell no, I don't go.
I'm not going home. I'm not going home. All right. Well, on that note, if you want to get involved in the voting and the nomination and all that kind of stuff here, join us over on Patreon. A big thank you to Kat for jumping in this week. She signed up this week. Thank you very much for jumping in. And we look forward to having you much more involved in there in the weeks and months to come. But join us on Patreon. You get to vote and get involved in this whole thing behind the scenes. And then the more the merrier, seriously, folks. And it just kicks off. If you want to get involved in this stuff, it's just $2 a month. So just join up there, have some fun with this, and get involved behind the scenes. And you get access to other things as well if you choose to do so. Alrighty. Next
week. Sorry, next week might be a little bit. Just heads up for everyone. Next week might be a little bit difficult for me, but I will try and come in because I'm going to be live at Bloodstock Fest. So I will try and come in and show you some of Bloodstock.
That'd be cool.
See some of Bloodstock. Yeah, I could probably come in and but there'll be lots of people and shit in the background.
Yeah,
and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, if we can make that work, that'll be something different. So for the people tuning in next week, there you go. Yeah, thank you for that. Thanks, Jeff, for putting the comment in Discord as well there. All right, on to the backyard banger for this week. And what do we got here? And there, cool. And this one is the Dreadful Tides. This week backyard banger. Dave has the assignment this week, which we've covered off at the top of the show. This is a Melbourne band. They've been around since 2021 and have been consistently releasing singles since then. For this, we decided to go over all of them. They've got 7 singles out, no longer formats, no EPs or albums as yet. They've got a bunch of cool videos as well. We played them on TV. They're currently in our Tastemakers playlist on Spotify if you want to check out that as well. And so we'll see if they make it into the top 5 next week as well. So I might get a back-to-back sort of bit of coverage here. But they've got a diverse range in their 7 songs. So let's get Dave's thoughts on this one as it was assigned to you, my good friend. So how did you go with your work this time around?
Work? No, I don't work. Fucking, I literally don't work. I mean, paid to stay at home last week.
Oh, well, enjoy while you can, man. It won't last.
I actually got paid to go to work, and I got back to work, and I spent the first hour drinking coffee and watching Netflix. So
Netflix and
my
chill.
boss is watching. I'm sorry. You let me drive the Mercedes, dude. You know what I'm like. Okay, so the Dreadful Tides.
Yep.
Like, hey, my car's fucked. I want to drive the Mercedes again.
No,
please.
Yeah. Don't go and watch Netflix at work then. I'm pretty sure that might put you in the bad books for that one.
I'll just watch Netflix while driving the Mercedes.
Now he's going to lend it to you. That's going to go well. Dig
you
up.
don't know my boss.
No, I don't.
Right. Professional Dave, the Dreadful Tides, backyard bangers. Fucking yeah. From what I've read on their Spotify bio, they've only been around for a few years. Earliest releases are from 2021. They're from Melbourne. They have 7 songs released so far, and they're all pretty diverse. So this band has a lot of potential. I'm liking what I'm hearing. As far as style goes, very much hard rock, very much old school. If you like the classics, you'll probably like this. Their bio also says they use the Les Paul Marshall combo. So if you know what that means, jump on this shit, because so many great lead guitarists throughout the last 20, 30 years use that if you like that sound. That's not to say this is a throwback. They're not stuck in the past. They just use what they love and they bring it forward into the future. We were talking about overproduced music. This doesn't sound anything like overproduced. It's got that natural, organic fucking feel, and that's what you need. They're taking what's been done and just putting their own personality, not reintroducing the wheel, not shoving fucking weirdo effects and production, just learning how it's done, being themselves. Every person has a unique voice and a unique feel, but just getting in there with your band, just making some cool music. Apparently, I have a type. And this fits with that type. Straight up hard rock, done well, with some interesting ideas. That's what you need. A lot of these songs are earworms. There is some great storytelling in the lyrics. Guitar solos are really cool. Blues bass, once again, if you know that Les Paul Marshall combination, you'll get the idea. So Slash, Joe Perry, those other guys. Yep. The riffs give some space to breathe. Remember, they're not just a rock band. They got the roll in there as well. Remember, rock used to go roll. A lot of bands just rock. You've got to roll, people. You got to roll, and the rock has to go together. It's a song Foul Play, cool rock groove. There's some groove and nice driving menace to the riff. Not overly heavy, just enough to have some bite. Nice use of the wah pedal in that solo. Fucking more wah. Definitely a score from Kirk Hammett. You can never have too much wah unless you kick off the wah and kick on the flanger. I haven't mentioned flanger in a while because we're like second week back.
Well, yeah, you've done well.
More flange.
Here we
Now,
go.
a song like House of Pain, that's got some really dark lyrics. That's not that flange, dude.
Bloody hell.
Oh wow!
It's turning
That's when the
Beavis
wah
and
pedal
Butthead.
comes up with a wow, get the funky wah shit happening with me.
Oh my god!
Okay, I'm trying to be professional. People grow up. Like I am
Okay.
mature. As you know.
Whoa.
See how long that lasts. Anyway,
Okay, look, I'm trying to get serious. Okay, House of Pain has some really dark lyrics. I like when the story starts to cut through on subsequent listens. You can really start to tell it. This, like, once again, music. You can enjoy the music when you're happy, when you're sad. You understand the lyrics. This one really started to bite through with subsequent listens. Just like, hang on, there's more to happen here, and you can pull back and just enjoy it, and then you can listen deep in the lyrics and just like, fuck, what's going on, dude? I want to know more about you. You have 7 songs out. What else you got in you? Of course, the NIB cover, the Sabbath classic. The humming at the start was a nice introduction, and the first time I knew it was a cover because you click on the fucking thing on Spotify. Yeah. But if you were live, you didn't know that they were going to play it, and that hum comes out. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
The whole thing has a different feel to the original. It's more blues, less menace. So it's a cool interpretation. They made it theirs. Their newest song, Black Widow, that's cool. It's a bit different to the other songs. Once again, it's a bit dark. But yeah, I think there's a lot of ideas and life in this band. So I'm curious to hear a lot more from what they come. Like 3 years old, they're very much in their infancy. And the 7 songs that they've done in the early stages, that's when they're fucking around coming up with their ideas of who they are. They're getting their sound together. And a lot of earlier stuff for a lot of bands, established bands, was never as good as this. It took some bands from the 70s 2 or 3 albums to find their sound, and this band has 7 songs, and I think they've got it. So based on what I've heard, I'm keen to hear more from this band. They're familiar enough to fit my type. They have their own unique ideas to be something fresh. So yeah, I'm definitely keen to hear more from this band.
Cool. Any shot score, or he's gonna?
Overall, as collective, 9.
9. Cool. Nice. All right. I'll follow up on you there. I've got these guys. From you listening to this collection of songs, you get the impression they really can do anything. I've only got a few notes here. If it rocks, they can do it. But I like how Dave mentioned the roll. That's actually really cool. You brought that up because that's critical to what these guys do, and they do it very well. It reminds me a little bit of the Ugly Kings, for example, how they use the roll sound really well. Like there's a bit of that in there. Which is cool. But they've got things in there like your typical hard rock songs like Rebel, for example. But the latest single, which Dave mentioned, Black Widow, I think that's really sultry, brooding, dark. I love that song. I reckon that's one of the best ones I've done, to be honest. But also you mentioned the cover of NIB. I really enjoyed the rearrangement and their approach to that song too. I thought that was very, very well done. That's got a cool video as well if you want to check it out. And for those curious, there is a video for the Dreadful Tides, Black Widow in the comments and the description, so go and check it out. Seriously good band. Loads of talent here. We hope to interview them in the future as well. But for now, please do go and check out the music. Even if you don't like the one song, click to the next one because they do move through different gears. And I reckon one song at least will hook you out of the 7 so far. But yeah, anyway, for me, 9 shots as well, Dave. So I enjoyed this one quite a lot. I was glad to go over it, and we'll see how the rest of the panel go now, which means, Jeff, you're up. Your quick thoughts and shots.
Yeah, I like these guys, obviously, and everything you guys said, I agree with. And I'm a big fan of when a band does a cover song that they make it their own, but they don't change it too much. Yeah. And the arrangement that they did, I thought, was tasteful enough that I didn't hate it. It was clever. Yeah. And I actually thought of many years ago, like back in the early 90s, there was this Black Sabbath tribute album. It had like Megadeth on and Type
Oh,
of Negative.
yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This could have fit.
NIB.
Yeah, this
Mm.
could have fit on there just
Yeah.
perfectly.
Actually, yeah. Dead on.
Nativity in Black.
Nativity in Black. Thank you. That's
Yep.
exactly
Yeah.
it. Nativity in
That's a
Black.
good one.
That's a great fucking album. And
They did two of them. They did two.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not even aware. I remember they did the
Yeah,
first
they
one.
did two.
You
Yeah,
know,
they did
I
two.
remember at the end of the one with the Paranoid with Megadeth, and it was like Dave was like Mick, you know, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Fuck me running." You know, I just remember that because he just kept playing, right? Anyway, but no, these guys are really, really good. I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, and I like them, and I think what sealed it for me was their cover of NIB.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
that well done. Yep. So
Any
yeah,
shots?
yeah, nine shots.
9?
Yeah, like
Nice.
that.
All right. So far, so good. Conrad, over to you.
Didn't get to these. Sorry, apologies.
Okay, cool.
My bad.
That's all right. No, don't worry. I don't.
What you guys are saying sounds like I'm going to go check them out. So, yeah.
All right, nice. Well, that's a win. We'll see how you go with that one. Hopefully, you find something you like there. All right,
Yeah.
Belle, final word.
I do remember hearing Fire in the Hole. Did we?
Yeah.
We did that as a review, a single review.
Yeah, we've done something on that before. We played on the show as well, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we did something with it. Yeah.
It sounded familiar. I thought we must have reviewed or anyway. So it was cool. And it's still my favorite of the 7 that I heard this week. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the rest too. Foul Play was great. I think that was second in the list. So that was had a good
Are these guys
groove
from
to
Melbourne?
it. I don't know. Yeah.
What was that?
Melbourne band?
Are they from Melbourne?
Yeah, Melbourne.
Yeah, they're Melbourne. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they write a great hard rock song. They clearly enjoy themselves doing it. That just seems to shine through. You can just hear it somehow. They're just having a ball. What else? I'd be surprised if the lead guitarist doesn't like Slash because his style is very similar. And what's not to like about that?
That's right.
Right down to the Les Paul Marshall combo.
Mm-hmm.
Plexi.
Okay. Well, it just, I don't know who else has that combo, but he sounded
Joe Perry.
Everybody, loads of people.
Everyone?
Yeah.
And yeah, their version of NIB had a really cool groove. Really cool groove. I got right into that and I actually preferred it to the original. Don't shoot me, people. And the vocals were obviously better.
Fire and blanks here.
I give this a 7. 7 shots.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Let's see
The
what the
song
audience
title
has to
Fire in the Hole made me giggle. Just like there must be some cream for that.
say. Of course it did.
Oh man.
There's that maturity, Dave, that you were talking about earlier
mature.
Anyway, when Conrad was talking about next week, Michael chimed in and said, "It's all good, Conrad. We know you're a little bit difficult, but we love you anyway." So there we go.
Conrad. Conrad, the Russian equivalent. Conrad. Here's some vodka, mate.
But Justin, in a bit of a twist here, Justin Strudwick from the Dreadful Tides. Thanks for all the kind words, legends. There we go.
Wow.
Welcome.
Hey.
Good to see you. Hopefully,
Good to meet you, dude.
Michael, love the Dreadful Tides. Discovered thanks to THRS. 10 shots for me. I want lots more. So there's some more positive feedback coming in.
Yes.
Kat says the Dreadful Tides, good band. I'm liking them. 8 shots from Kat. Kevin says the first one is awesome. Corrosion of Conformity was a great version of Lord of this World. That's the Back to the Nativity in Black.
Nativity in Black. Yeah.
Interesting.
Jolie says 9 for me. So Jolie's loving it as well. Michael says guitar player has a YouTube channel and he shows how to play Fire in the Hole and lots of stuff. I love channels to do that.
BYO Crane.
Yeah. Craig says, great brooding hard rock track. They have a dark but honest sound. Love the solo as well. I'm going to look for more from them after this. 8 shots. I had no idea they were local. Why have I not heard of them before? That is exactly why we do this whole fucking segment.
Yeah.
That is exactly why we do what we do to make sure people don't miss out on these things. And on that note, next week it's my turn, and we're going to be going back to Audio Rain. So because we've done the second album recently, I'm going to go back and revisit the debut self-titled album, which, spoiler alert, Dave and I already fucking love that album. So it'll be nice to go back and after that one.
Good
next
album.
week.
Jake just messaged me. I have to talk to you after the show.
I know. Yeah, I'll chat to you after. I know what it's about, but yeah, just you'll have to send an apology for me. That's basically what it's going to be. But I'll give you an update at the end. Alrighty, on to the what we're calling Fretboard Feud now. A slight tweak to things. This is where we go through and pick a song from an album, and then we get the audience to let us know their top 3 songs from the same album. We see sort of where our choices and where the audience sort of top 5 or whatever line up to see who can score the most. It's remember. Think about sort of Family Feud in a way where someone puts an answer into the box, and you sort of see what the audience scores after the fact. It's kind of
survey says ding ding ding. Yep. Okay.
Basically, that's kind of
put the answer into the box.
I don't have any smart graphics or anything, so you have to put up with us just fucking talking shit. But you used to that anyway if you're watching this show. But that's basically where this is going to work. So last week we started off. This particular series is all to do with the Tony Martin era of the Black Sabbath albums, which have finally gotten a re-release treatment. Very about a month or so ago now, Jeff, from memory.
A little over a month ago.
Yeah. So that it's great to finally get this out there. So we figured we'd go over it. And so last week, Conrad, you weren't here. We assigned a song for you. We've worked out that if someone's not here, we will give them whatever order they're in, the next most played song on the album, just as a default go-to. But last week we did The Eternal Idol. So in that context, Conrad had the first choice, and we assigned The Shining to Conrad. Dave took Nightmare. Jeff took Hard Life to Love. Bell took Eternal Idol, and I took Lost Forever. Now, this is where it gets to be fun, because the audience top 5 shake out like this. Number 5, Nightmare. Number 4, Hard Life to Love. Number 3, Eternal Idol. Number 2, Ancient Warrior.
Yeah.
And number 1 is, obviously, we all knew it last week, The Shining, which is how it all plays out. So if you're following along, I don't have any cute little graphics here and stuff like that. And I did go down to, Bell did the order for me, and I went down to number 8 just in the audience thing, so I could work out who goes where. And Bell, I did split things on it when there was a tie in terms of where we're placing ourselves in our score, even though there's a 3-way tie in this one. Who goes 5, who goes 3 kind of thing. I just did that based on the plays that we've spoken about before. But to round this out, that means that I'm at the bottom of the pile already after week 1. So I'm on 20 points at the bottom of the pile. Dave, you're on 4th place. You're on 20 points as well. And Jeff, you're in a 3-way tie with us on 20 points. But because your song has more plays, you go to 3rd place. Which means it comes down to Bell and Conrad. Bell gets 40 points for the second most popular choice, and Conrad comes out on top, which I think we all expected after last week's little way.
Confused.
Sorry, what was that, Dave?
There was a lot, and I'm confused, but I'm drunk, so it'll make more sense tomorrow.
Everything makes sense.
All you've got to do is pick a song, and we'll work it out, all right?
Well, I just pick a song. You guys do the work.
We'll do the work. Don't worry about that. Which brings us now to round 2, which is the album Headless Cross. So for context here, in the comments and the description box, there is a reference track for you, which is Headless Cross, the title track from the album. Now, we do rotate the draft. Whoever goes last the week before goes first in the week following, which means that I get to go first this week. And for me, I hope Belle agrees, because last week Belle was like, oh my God, how have I not heard this before? And she was very curious about this. And Jeff and I particularly were like, it gets better. It gets a lot better.
Yeah.
This is where it kicks off for me. This is where I fell in love with this lineup of this band, where I found Tony Martin more particularly. And I'm so grateful this is getting the re-release treatment, because this album for me is where it really, sort of they started working with Tony Martin as an actual vocalist as opposed to the ring-in, which is, it was important and it worked. And Tony Martin having a big hand in the vocal on the lyrics side of things was great here too. I know it's more of a Tony Iommi solo project, so it feels a bit more.
What?
Was this the first album with Tony Martin? Was this the first
Second.
album with him? Or?
First one that he wrote anything on.
Okay.
Yeah. But the first one he did with them, where he was just literally rung in at the last minute to just record songs other people had already done.
Cross purposes.
No,
that was The Eternal Idol.
The Eternal Idol, yeah.
1987.
Yeah. So there's a timeline issue with this, because it wasn't a consistent bracket. But anyway, we'll get through the 5. I think it's 5 albums in the end.
Yes.
Yeah. But seriously, if you've not heard the Tony Martin era, I think you're missing out personally. And like I said, this is where it sort of kicks off for me. And This one sort of is the darkest Black Sabbath have probably ever been, especially lyrically, compared to a lot of the other stuff. Like they really got into it. And I thought it was
There's
very,
a
very
reason
cool.
for that. I'll tell you about it after.
Yeah, cool, nice. But yeah, I've always loved this one. This has been a favorite of mine since I first heard it, so I really did enjoy it again. It's worth noting too that Queen's Brian May has a guest solo on the song "When Death Calls," which is a nice little footnote there on this album. But yeah, this was, even though it didn't sell well critically and fan wise, this was a big comeback for the band. And the reason why it didn't sell well was because I'd been dropped from one label and had to actually shop around and get label support. So it was a bit of a shitty time for the band, but this album was worth it. So yeah, I only needed to have one song on my list, and I think it's pretty easy, which is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to take Headless Cross. I mean, how could I not?
Yeah.
It's there. I love it. I think it's fantastic. But that's my pick. Conrad, your pick off of Headless Cross album, and any thoughts you have?
I was listening to this earlier on today before we did this, and not too familiar with the Tony Martin stuff. It's the first time I listened to this record, to be honest. I knew the song, The Headless Cross, and that was about it. That's all I knew. Yep. But the song that jumped out and really rocked my balls off was hang on, I was going to pull it up. The one that I picked out, I thought was awesome. Was one you just mentioned with Brian May.
When Death Calls.
When Death Calls. Yeah.
When Death Calls. I like. Yeah,
that's a
that
great
one
song.
Really stood out for me. I thought that was the shit. I was really into that. That was cool. I didn't know he did 4. How many? He did 4 albums. 5 albums with.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. He's you want to get Tony Martin is the second longest tenured singer in Black Sabbath. Only Ozzy was with the band longer.
Yeah.
And
more people don't know him. That's a shame.
Yeah. Cosy Powell was on drums.
Cosy Powell.
Yes, on drums. Yep, on this one. Yep.
And Geezer Butler on bass.
No. Neil Murray.
No.
Yeah. Geezer wanted to come back, but he went and joined Ozzy instead. So yeah.
Right. So it was just basically Iommi was the okay. And
he's the only one.
Iomi's been on every album then, obviously.
Yeah. He's the only one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Of course, it's his band. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Quality.
Yep.
No, that was my choice.
So When Death Calls. All right.
Yes. Good choice. Good choice.
Yes.
Alrighty. Dave.
You know, the first actual full show I filmed for the Hard Rock Show was a Black Sabbath special, and I crammed all their albums in 2 or 3 days to be able to jump in and do it. And we got to the headquarters in Cranbourne, the studio, and we had the Hard Rock Society that could come up and watch us film things. But nobody rocked up, and we were going to start filming soon, and nobody had turned up. And you wanted to promo the night show. And there's this empty fucking group of chairs. I'm just like, oh, shit, they must be Tony Martin fans. Nobody's rocked up. And you use that for the fucking promo.
Yeah.
Now you got Ozzy, you got Dio. Nobody talks about Tony Martin. Just fucking, it's sad because what he does with this band is amazing. I do wish they released this under a different name because it doesn't sound like Sabbath to me. Not Dio era, not Ozzy, not the classics. It's fantastic, but it just doesn't feel or sound like Sabbath, which is
I get that.
Possibly why it's not as recognized over the years, because Sabbath have a sound and a legacy and this style that people expect. And this, it was going to be a Tony Iommi solo album. He wanted to do so many solo careers, but the label like Sabbath will sell better if you put down the album covers. So I get the idea of it. There were points in this album where it's just like, this is very much a sign of the times, but it doesn't sound like Sabbath. The song I'm going to pick is because it really stands out to me every time I play this album, and it's just like, fuck, I'm going to piss a lot of people off when I say this. It sounds like it would belong on the Kiss album Crazy Nights.
Same year. What song?
Devil and Daughter. As soon as that song comes on, it's very synth heavy. I'm just like, fuck, it would not be able to play it on Kiss's Crazy Nights. And I love that album. I love 80s Kiss, and this song just really jumps out at me, so I'm going with that one.
Devil and Daughter, wasn't it? Devil, that's 89. Yeah, all right, I was thinking,
All right,
but
cool. Nice choice.
Funny you picked that, Dave, because I saw Devil and Daughter and I instantly thought of you and Jade.
Yeah. All right, Bill, you're not alone.
Wait until you get to my bin/win. My
all
God.
Right, we're All right, Jeff, over to you.
Well, I really like, obviously, every song on this album. I think it's an absolutely epic fucking album. And before I pick my song, I'll tell you what an interview I read about Tony Iommi, what he said about this, which was obviously when they brought Tony Martin into the band to cover for, Ray Gillen, to cover his version of it, and then re-record it and all. He didn't have any say in it, right? He just basically, stand there and sing, and he did. And then this album, they said, he actually said, well, who's writing the lyrics? And Tony said, you are. So he basically, he went, and because he knew that Sabbath was, doom and gloom, devil, demons, the whole album was based on that. And by the time he realized what, the lyrical content, it was too late to change anything. So they went with it. And then afterwards, he said, don't ever do that again. It was too much. So the next album,
Sabbath was more than that.
I did find this one quite confronting.
It was, because it was the preconceived idea of what Sabbath was.
It does dial back a bit from here. It's okay.
So, the next album is all about medieval stuff and shit like that.
Norse mythology and things.
He turned it around. But
is that Tyr?
Yes, Tyr.
Yeah. Sabbath go prog.
Yeah, kind of. So anyway, that was a funny story. I decided everyone would know that. So I'm going to pick my song now because you guys have all picked my songs that I had already picked. Yeah. I'm going to take the song which was the original closer of this until they re-released it, and that is Nightwing. Okay, Nightwing is what I'm taking. That's a great fucking song. Great. That was the original album closer, and then they added Cloak and Dagger because it was a B-side.
Yep. So I'm guessing,
sorry,
Belle.
Sorry,
you're disappointed now, aren't you?
Good guess. Yeah. That was so yes, I'm gonna get it. No, not. But great song. Good choice, Jeff.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Yeah. So
it's over to you, Belle. Did you like this one more than the last one?
After last week's conversation, I had very high expectations, and assurance that things only could get better from then. So look, now I'm not saying that they got worse, but honestly, I don't think they got better. I preferred last week's album.
Wow.
I really did. Like this album, it's great. It's great songs. There's no doubt, but I just didn't like it as much as the last one.
Okay.
I actually preferred everything about the last one. Especially Tony Martin's vocals.
Yes.
I think this album just felt a little bit safe, and in its safe, it kind of. It was less exciting and not boring, but just, I don't know. There was an energy about the last one that I didn't feel was here on this one.
Okay. Yep.
So even though it may have been more perfectly executed and it all was, everyone matched up and everyone worked together before and they knew what they were doing, there was something lacking in its rawness. But anyway, both great albums. So, what have I learned here? That I shouldn't listen to you idiots. Yeah. No, I shouldn't listen to you, and I should just, make my own song. Listen to things for myself.
Fair point.
So
nobody listen to us. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, don't listen to us. We know nothing anyway.
I know nothing. I can speak English. I learned it from a book.
Yeah. You got a song for us, Bill?
I do. It's my number 2 actually, so that's not too bad.
Okay. Cool.
Not too bad. All right, Kill in the Spirit World.
Oh, nice.
My number 2. Yep.
Cool.
Oh, that was a pretty radical song.
It is a good song.
I like that one a lot. There's some great songs on this album. Genuinely,
this song is all about atmosphere. Or this album, I should say. The album is about atmosphere.
it does change up in the future to come. So I'm not going to try and hype you up anymore, Bill. I'm just going to say things good. But gears will change. So we'll see how things go. Because next week is tier. But just to recap quickly here, I've got Headless Cross. Connor has When Death Calls. Dave picked Devil and Daughter. Jeff has Nightwing. And Bell has Kill in the Spirit World. We'll do a poll for you guys out there in the audience to let us know what songs are your top 3 from the album in the next few days. But we'll get to
Andrew,
that.
I would love to see the reviews that we did for that Sabbath special, the first one I joined, because I'd like to know what those thoughts were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on one of my
Like
mini
fucking, 12 years ago now? 11, 12 years ago?
Be close to it, yeah.
Over 10.
Over 10, yeah.
Wow.
Because it was, 13? Their first Halloween special was 2013, I think, and that was it. Sounds about right from memory.
Yeah, just seeing how opinions change over time, like first experiences and then now. And
I remember us enjoying it. I know that I went to that.
We were all impressed.
Yeah.
It was the first time hearing it for all of us, especially Tier. Like Sabbath Go Prog. I was a big prog fan at the time.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
I like
but
that
yeah.
prog.
Next week is Tier. That's going to be where we'll, like I said, gears will change as we go through these 5 albums.
Yeah. For sure.
But audience choice, any audience comments here, what do we got here? Nicole says, Headless Cross is such an amazing song. Love it so much. Plus, Tommy J does an amazing cover of this. Okay, I haven't checked that out. I've got to do that. Here we go. Cat's gone. As much as I'm loving Tony Martin's voice, I keep hearing David Coverdale overtones.
Yeah. Yes,
but coming from an Aussie era, I do like this kind of Sabbath. So there we go.
Can hear David Coverdale in there.
Yeah, you can hear a bit of that.
Yep.
I think they were just trying to move with the times. I think at this point they were trying to move with the times.
Trying to be current.
All of the Wilder Black.
They were trying to stay current. They was trying to stay current, and they were trying to, I guess, do what else was out there going on at the time.
Yeah.
You've got to also remember that before this album came out, they'd been dropped by their label. So
yes,
that changes
Yeah.
things. Like Black Sabbath got dropped, people. Remember that. And that's before this album came out. So put that in your memory bank.
Wow.
All
They
right.
got the last laugh on that one. Fuck
They
them.
did. They definitely did. Vinny says, I just bought Tear on vinyl this week. Apologies for jumping ahead to next week. Another criminally underrated album. I will agree with you.
Yes.
Nice,
That one.
Vinny.
Yeah, it's a good one. Anyway, we'll get to that next week. Kat says, like no top Aussie, but this isn't a bad second. And that's where people...
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Craig says, I love
Oh,
Tear.
Tony Martin's
So we're getting a lot of
second.
love for Tear already. Vinny says, does anyone own Anna Domini? The CD set is selling for over $100.
No, but I want it.
Groups, hence its popularity. Wow.
I might get it.
Yeah. Craig, so now I can't wait for Bell's review of Tear next week. And Michael says, Dave, opinion change when your balls drop over time. Fucking
Yes.
hell.
No.
Yeah, it's true. Your
I
voice
like
dropped.
Guns N' Roses when my balls were a tight package and now they're dropped. I'm still a big Guns N' Roses fan.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But follow up with loving Tony Martin albums revisited. And this is why we do this one, because when we talk about it, we thought this was one of those ones. It's an era of a great band that does get overlooked for whatever reason, even by the band themselves. And so I figured it was high time to put a bit of a spotlight on these ones. But anyway, next segment we go to Jeff this time around, because it's time to play Who Am I? The Person Edition. And I hope Kevin is still around, because this is where you shine, our good friend. This is we get 10 clues from Jeff. We each get one guess. You and the audience can do whatever the hell you want. Don't worry about our rules.
No Google.
No Google though. Try to avoid doing that if you can. Try to keep it legit. But I've got the comment set so I know who goes where. Basically, Jeff's going to give us 10 clues. It's a person. We have to guess who it is, and whoever gets there first gets the chocolates, and we'll get the rest of the clues.
Chocolate.
Assuming someone guesses it, I don't know. I'm not going to send to you via a screen. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway, you know the game. It's pretty straightforward. Who am I? Jeff, over to you.
Okay. You ready, guys? All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in December of 1947, a baby boomer. But as I was adopted, I can only guess this because this is the case, because I actually never knew my real parents. Question 2. I mean, you're never going to get it from that, but you have to make it harder and easier as it goes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. By the time I was 12, I was playing in the school orchestra. During this time, I would join a band with slightly older members, the Chorals, and we would break the world record for non-stop playing. Now, outside of this thing, I actually tried to get more info on this. I Googled and Googled and Googled. I couldn't. I just couldn't get any more. I even went to the Guinness Book of World Records, couldn't find it.
Wow.
So I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but yep, apparently this is what happened. Okay. After this, during the German club scene of the 1960s with the Sorcerers, I joined that band. Then coming back home to England, I would meet and become friends with many of the popular musicians of the day, including Robert Plant, John Bonham, Noddy Holder, and Tony Iommi. Okay. Making a name for myself by playing with local bands here and there and on the growing scene in England, soon I was asked to join the prestigious Jeff Beck group as his drummer. It would be during this time that an up-and-coming blind American artist, Stevie Wonder, would tap Jeff and I to record on his new song, Superstitious.
Okay, I'm going to take a shot at this.
Yep.
Carmen Apiece.
No. Sorry, you're out. All right, question 6. That's okay. It was a good guess. Throughout the 1970s, I would play with many bands and artists, but I always had a love for the power trio, like Cream. I set out to form my own power trio with John Entwistle and Glenn Tipton. There are recorded sessions of this, but unfortunately, no album ever emerged. I eventually gave up on the idea of a trio simply because I wanted keyboards in my band, and I formed my own band called Hammer, which I had Bernie Marsden on guitar, Clive Chayman on bass, Don Airy on keyboards, and Frank Aiello on vocals.
Motherfucker.
Question 7. Getting up there, people. Unfortunately, it was a short-lived project until I was asked to join another band with Richie Blackmore on guitar. The band was called Rainbow, and they already had one album under their belt. I went on to record 3 albums with them from 76 to 79, Rising, Long Live Rock and Roll, and Down to Earth.
I know who it is now.
I left Rainbow. All right, yeah.
It's like, isn't it? Cozzy? No. Yes, pal?
Ding, 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 ding. You
Oh,
get it.
there you go.
Yes. There you go.
Got
Yay! What an
Wow,
amazing.
I couldn't say it 'cause I was out.
That's a
but I
good
got it.
fucking backstory of
Yeah,
something
well done.
everybody should have known.
Yeah, well, I thought,
That's
and
cool.
since that we had Cozy Powell playing on Headless Cross tonight,
Yeah.
and he played on the deal, the
Rainbow
Rainbow
album.
album.
Yeah,
I
good.
thought, why not?
Good
Right?
digging, man.
That's nice.
so good.
He's played on loads of. Because he's played.
Oh
with
yeah,
loads of
yeah. He's
people.
one of the most recorded artists in time.
He's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
So
Him
I'll
and Tommy
finish off.
Aldridge, I think.
Absolutely, he's right up there. He,
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, so you got it in the middle of question 7 because I didn't finish where I was going to say he left Rainbow in 1980 to join a revamped ELP, which is Emerson, Lake and Powell. You would have got it there.
Yeah.
Emerson, like Aussie.
Yeah, you got it right before I said it. But very good,
Yeah.
very good. Question 8 was throughout the 80s, I played in many bands and projects, most notably the Michael Schenker Group, and then joined Whitesnake in 1982, remaining there until 1985, but only recording one album with them, the underrated and brilliant Slide It In. Then he would join Black Sabbath in the late 1980s, and there he would record 3 albums with them, The Headless Cross, Tear, and Forbidden, at which point he rejoined the band in the mid-1990s. And then throughout the 90s, I would play on many records with many artists and different band members, including Brian May and Yngwie Malmsteen. On April 5th, 1998, while driving to see the woman that I was dating, she phoned me in a tizzy on the phone and stating that I had to come over now. She was married and her husband was causing problems and I couldn't get there quick enough. So I decided to take the M4 through Bristol, which would be the quickest way. It was 56 kilometers from where I was. It was raining really, really hard. Unfortunate for me, I had been drinking, and stupidly, I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. So when she called me a second time and asked me, "Where are you?" I told her I was on my way. "Oh shit," I explained. And it was then that I lost control of my Saab 9000, traveling at 167 kilometers per hour, was ejected from the vehicle through the front windshield, and died at the scene, age 50. My name is Cozy Powell. So
Wow.
Well done, Belle. You did
So
a
young.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so
young.
sad.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So young.
god.
yeah, poor guy.
So
He
young.
was
And sad.
amazing drummer, amazing musician, really nice guy too. I've
And-
watched many interviews with him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And to have played on so many rock metal
Yeah.
albums.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Rock
That's
metal
apparently
royalty, that guy.
she's on the record saying that she heard him say "oh shit" and then a loud bang.
Fuck. Imagine that too.
That's
No
terrible.
one wins
That's
in that
brutal.
environment.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
No.
All right. On that note, let's try and get to the comments here to see who got there first. Kevin said Ainsley Dunbar. You
Oh,
would have been
nice,
wrong.
nice.
And Basher says Cozy Powell a minute later, and he beat
Kevin
Bell
lost.
by a minute. Beat Bell by a minute. So well,
Well
done.
done, Basha.
Well done,
Basher.
Bash.
But Kevin says, I know it now. Michael said Cozy Powell. Kevin says, I was wrong my first guess. So there we go. Nicole says, okay, bedtime for me. P.S. Rainbow beats Dream Theater in my eyes. We are getting to that right about now. But thank you for jumping in, Nicole. Hopefully
Thanks,
everything
Nicole.
goes well on Monday. Fingers crossed it goes well for you.
Good luck.
But Kevin says also, Ainsley Dunbar did play drums
Oh, yeah.
with the Jeff group, and that's what threw me off. So there we go. Good one, Jeff. Well done.
Cheers. Good job, Belle,
very
for
well
getting
done.
it.
Yeah, Bell got
And
it. And so did Basher. So there we go.
And
Yeah,
Michael.
and Bash. That's right.
Yeah, and Michael. Yeah. All right.
Hey,
In
everybody.
the
Hey,
comments, you're going to get more now. So in the comments and the description box, you're going to get 2 reference tracks for the finale of tonight's show, and that is the King of the Riff. Let's get into it. This is the Sophomore Albums series or season, we're calling it. This is round 2. This is Rainbow Rising versus Dream Theater, Images and Words. This is the Rainbow Rising is the 1976 album, 6 tracks, 33 minutes, the 5th seed out of 12 for this season. Dream Theater, Images and Words is the 1992 album, 8 tracks, 57 minutes, the 12th seed of 12, so the last seed for this season. You all know the drill by now. We go through, pick things. I've got the audience results here as well to go through. We'll see if we match up with the audience or not. But we just basically go through, give our thoughts, and pick an album and why we've done so. So with that said, Conrad, you are first cab off the rank. Which way are you going in this week's King of the Riff?
I mean, this is. I mean, without without this record, or even without bands like Rainbow and Rush, you wouldn't have Dream Theater. So it's got to go to Rainbow Rising. I mean, that Stargazer alone is enough
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Stargazer alone is enough to just knock it out of the ballpark.
What a song.
And it's to me, it's the Mount Everest of metal. I call it the Mount Everest of metal, that song.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been topped. In my eyes, that song has not been topped to
Wow.
this day. To this day, that's still the best song in
Wow.
metal, I believe. So I'm going, Rainbow Rising.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. All right,
100%.
Dave, last week you said this was easy. Is it still easy?
Yep. It's still fucking easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say it, but Stargazer bores the fucking shit out of me. It's an 8-minute song, and it sounds like 8 fucking hours. Metropolis goes for 7 minutes, and it sounds like 7 seconds. My God. Yeah, it's no surprise I'm going Dream Theater. I've seen the polls. It's an obvious fucking landslide. I don't care. I'm in the minority. Where the fuck are the Dream Theater fans at? My God. And as far as Rainbow goes, look, they're a good, Rainbow are a good band. I wasn't aware of them until like 10 years ago, maybe.
Well,
They
it's
just
not
went
their
in-
fault. That's yours.
No, they just went around. Like, I'm probably younger than the rest of you guys, but they just they fucking came and went. And if you look at the statistics that Andrew shared with the albums that we're doing in this battle, they're like down the bottom, right down the bottom. Dream Theater beat this band as far as streams go on Spotify well over twice. You could say that because they're an old band that people listen to Rainbow on vinyl, but Zeppelin have 5 times more than Dream Theater and Rainbow combined. And so does Black Sabbath.
But
So that doesn't mean shit. Okay. Look, I can happily listen to Rainbow. They're a great band. and they're all talented. Not taking anything away from that. They will never be a favorite band. They don't grab me like a lot of other bands do. And a lot of it comes down to the lyrics. Musically, you can be the great fucking musician and all that shit. Unless you got an engaging song, it doesn't mean shit. I guess it might be cool to hang out with the Pixies and the Dragons. I prefer real life themes that I can relate to. Look, a song like Learning to Live.
Nice, Conrad. Nice.
Ooh.
That's a nice patch.
Yeah, very good.
I don't care. Everyone's got their favorites. I don't care. A song like Learning to Live, for me, is a much more compelling listen than anything on Rising. Simple. Okay, Dream Theater. Images and words. Page 1. We're going to go through this motherfucker. No, we're not. We're not. Because you know what? I can bore the shit out of everybody about the composition, about the musicality, about everything. I didn't need to do that with this album because it stands up on its own merits as an album. The cool thing about Dream Theater is you can learn so much as a musician. They have fantastic writers. You can also just switch all that shit off and just appreciate it as an album. I've been a music fan longer than I've been a guitar player. And as far as actual songs, everything on Images and Words is much more compelling than Rising. I'm going to get fucking lynched for this, but I honestly think, James...
There's a lot of years in between the two. There's a lot of years in between. You've got to take that into context.
I do, and exactly. You know, you can appreciate the classics. Everything was built on that. Your favorites can be replaced. In 2024, I'm a bigger Ghost fan than a Dream Theater fan.
That's big. That's
okay. Except it's unfair that, you know, I want something to come along that will replace Appetite for Destruction. Okay, don't get stuck in the fucking past. Just because it came first doesn't mean it's going to be better than something that can come along and replace it. I know Rainbow came first. Doesn't mean it's a better album. Simple. I'm going to get lynched for this. I honestly think James LeBray has much more emotive conviction in his vocals than Dio does on that album, comparing these two.
No way.
Okay.
Sorry. No.
I will. You know, when you're singing about real life human issues, it's more believable than when you're singing about fucking dragons and mystical fantasy shit. For me, I get more emotively involved in the conviction of a real life story. It means more. It's more important. You can have your fucking Dungeons and Dragons and all that crap. It's fun. Escapism is cool. Give me some real life shit. The struggles that people deal with. Okay? And on this album, when you have 3 different lyric writers, you get many different thoughts, perspectives, ideas, approaches, and styles. And it gets you thinking. Any of these songs could be a topic of conversation if you're willing to let it get under your skin. You have Petrucci's complex emotive storytelling. You have John Mayung's astute observations of people, society, and relationships. I mentioned Learning to Live. That song alone smokes everything on fucking Rising. And you got Kevin Moore. His internal explorations of the psyche. Do you know what that dude's doing now?
Nope.
No.
A psychiatrist? What?
Yes. He's a psychiatrist. He gave up music he's a fucking doctor. And listening to his lyrics on the first 2 or 3 Dream Theater albums, that makes a lot of sense. By listening to this dude's, by reading his words, I want to hang out. I want to talk to this motherfucker. I don't give a shit about Dio singing about fucking dragons. I don't want to hang out with him. I want to know what's going on in this guy's head.
Therapy. Like,
what?
Is that a euphemism for you saying you want to go to therapy? Or...
Maybe. Yes. I want to know one-on-one human reaction. What's going on in your daily life? The only thing this album is missing is the Mike Portnoy hate song and the James LeBray ballad that would become staples in Dream Theater later. Images and Words are much more diverse, interesting listen, more styles, textures, tempos, emotions, themes, fast, heavy guitars, beautiful piano lines, dark mood, tapping songs, everything I want from an album. Rainbow is a cool listen that I can tune out and do something else. Nothing in my multiple listens of that album has grabbed me and made me listen multiple times. But easily Dream Theater.
I get that.
Fair enough. That's all right. That's cool. It's good to get a counterpoint. It's good to get a counterpoint because it was a
I know
landslide.
I'm in the minority. It's a fucking landslide.
That's okay. But that's why it's cool. But it's cool you go to bat for it too. Like, you know what I mean? You're not afraid to stick to your vision and go to bat for it. That's
well.
Cool.
And, I could speak for fucking ages and go over the book and analyze all the composition and everything. You don't need to with this album because they still write songs.
And I reckon
write good
I've
fucking
got
songs.
thoughts on this album in particular, which I'll get to when it's my turn. But now it's Jeff's turn. So let's go to
it's my
you.
turn. Okay. Yep. Sure. All right. Here we go. All right. Buckle up, people. Here we go. All right. Rainbow Rising, 1976 versus Dream Theater Images and Words, 1992. So yes, there's quite the time frame.
Kids Destroyer and Thin Lizzy, Jailbreak and Johnny the Box are better albums.
Well, okay, that's fine. All right. When you drop the needle or press play on the first song from the Rainbow album, Tear It Woman, that first song you hear, you know you're in for something special. This album marked the triumphant return of the band after their stellar debut album. Every element here is meticulously placed and nothing is out of place. The album features an all-new band, save for the stellar vocalist Ronnie Dio and, of course, Richie Blackmore. There can be few who would find Dio's vocals to be anything but outstanding here. And this was the album that really solidified him as one of the greatest singers in the rock era. It was this album. Then you get the song Run with the Wolf, albeit a lesser known song in the catalog, but no less amazing. Starstruck, continues to show the band knows how to write catchy melodic numbers that get stuck in your head for days. Hallmarks of all great songs, and as Conrad Sound said, this is an epic song. Do You Close Your Eyes? Now, this is the first song on the album that gives a subtle hint to the commercial direction the band would later chase. Technically proficient, but not one of my favorites. This is, in my opinion, the first skippable track on this album. And then, of course, there is Stargazer, I think was what Conrad referred to, not Star Trek.
Yeah, that's
this is the song that is worth the price of admission all by itself. This song alone is, without a doubt, not only one of the best songs on the album, but arguably one of the greatest songs they ever wrote, recorded, and one of the greatest songs by anybody recorded ever. This in the rock and metal era. This is boring. No, well, maybe fine. Okay. It doesn't change.
I didn't think it was boring either.
This song has been played and covered by more bands than any other Rainbow song,
including Dream Theater, and it's fucking boring.
Yeah, it's an amazing song on every level, and I would go so far as to say that this song is required listening by anyone who loves hard rock. Cozy's drumming here is nothing short of fucking stellar. The album closes out with A Light in the Black, another great song, and a fan favorite as well. Dio's vocals really get to shine in this song. And this is actually the fastest paced song in the album, and I think it's a great closing track. The album itself is relatively short. It's only 33 minutes long, despite Dave thinking that it goes on for hours. It's only 6 songs. And
no, just that fucking song goes on for hours.
I think the time flies pretty quickly.
Even Dream Theater's cover, that's fucking boring as shit.
Okay. All up for me, aside from the song Do You Close Your Eyes, I think this is a phenomenal album that Kerrang! Magazine, remember Kerrang! Magazine?
Yeah.
In a 1981 readers poll where everyone voted, the readers, they voted it the greatest heavy metal album of all time in 1981.
I was about to say it's 81 though, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a long time ago. We don't have hindsight, but
that's a long fucking.
I know, but still,
heavy metal was pretty fucking infants back then.
You know, look, if
you still learn to walk
in 1981, it certainly would have been up there for sure. I don't know if it was the greatest, but yes, I can see it. Production here by Martin Birch is once again exactly where it needed to be. And of course, Martin Birch will go on to become the big producer for Iron Maiden, as everyone knows. Every instrument shines through here and has its time in the spotlight. Now imagine hearing this on LP when it first came out. And side 2 is only 2 songs long, Stargazer and A Light in the Black. And you wouldn't be blamed if you never turned that disc over and that's all you ever played, which is what a lot of people did. And that's fucking, wow. You know, I'm giving this album 9 shots and I'm taking 1 away for that song, Do You Close Your Eyes? Not my cup of tea. Standout tracks, of course, are Stargazer, Light in the Black, and Terror Woman. Dream Theater, Images and Words. I remember hearing this review with then solo artist Bruce Dickinson. He was promoting his new album, Balls to Picasso.
Oh, wow.
And I remember when he was in the studio and they asked him what they did with people that come into the studio, the artists. They'd say, what do you want us to play? And he said, can you play Dream Theater, Pull Me Under? Because I really like them. And so they did. Wow. And I watched the video. I was like, wow, this is fucking great. And so that song, Images and Word, by this time had been out by 2 years at this point. But hey, you know, you got to be introduced at some point. So better late than never. What I heard in this song set me on a path to discover more about this band. I really liked what I was hearing, and the video I thought was pretty cool too. And ironically, that was their first video that they ever did.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be long.
Of which?
What's that?
Sorry, I was going to get to something. I'll let you finish.
Okay.
I'll shut up.
All right. Well, if you want to break in, you can, because I've got a long way to go.
I just say that when
even I wasn't this long, dude.
When I discovered them, I think on Headbangers Ball, and I was over here, I think at the time.
Yep.
I'd come over here and I saw them at Headbangers Ball, and it was Barney Green. I was watching a Napalm Death video clip, and Barney had the Dream Theater T-shirt on.
Yep.
And I was like, "Who's that band?" And then then it came on that Dream Theater come on with "Pull Me Under" on the Headbangers Ball, and he had a Napalm Death. He had a Napalm Death shirt, so they were both giving each other. So both promoting each other's bands.
Cool.
In
the singer from Napalm Death performed. He performed with them in about 95. They did a cover of fucking Damage Incorporated, I think it was, in 95.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
continue, Jeff.
Barney sings on that Ronnie Scott's Change of Seasons. Barney Green was on that.
Yeah, he's on the cover songs on that. Yeah.
So they had mutual respect. They promoted each other's bands, and it paid off
for
both.
DT were the only band that could tour with Napalm Death and Genesis. They were the bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, good point.
Wow,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, they took it.
And they tour with both those fucking. They tour with In Flames and fucking Pink, Pink Floyd. Anyway, go on, Jeff. We'll interrupt.
Okay. Well, all right. That's all good.
Jeff.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, as I was saying, I like the song. I like the video. But it wouldn't be long before I went out and bought the album, and I fell in love with the songs that I found on the album. For me, this is prog metal, but it's unlike anything that actually preceded it. And in that way, it was completely unique and a breath of fresh air. The addition of James LaBrie on vocals was a genius move, in my opinion. Indeed, I would go so far as to say that while their first singer, Charlie Dominici, was pretty good in his own right, the addition of LaBrie opened the band up to endless musical possibilities.
Yeah.
Now, everyone knows that DT, or Dream Theater, is a musical powerhouse of a band. Yeah. And it cannot be overstated how technically brilliant they are as musicians. And here on Images and Words, it's on full display. And yet, they're only scratching the surface of that genius. We would hear much, much more later. So, a lot of people give DT grief for the style of music that they make. But that is because I feel that their brand of music is not only unique to them, nobody does what they do. And oh, yes, they have a million bands who try to copy them. And many of them are fantastic in their own right. But the core elements of Dream Theater themselves are uncopyable. There is a musical sensibility that goes beyond the technical. Many bands have copied the technicals. You can learn that. But it's the sensibility, the intangible, that keeps them unique. So try to think about the time when this album came out in 1992. Grunge was in full swing. Hair metal was all but dead, and only a few bands were able to keep the fire burning in that department.
The timing was fucked for this band.
Yep. So there was a musical shift, a groundswell. Many bands, new or long-time veterans, were facing oblivion. DT had just come out and dropped their all-important second album, the Sophomore album, as this battle progresses that we're having here. This is the album that we all know that really makes or breaks a band. So to call it good timing or bad timing is a matter of perspective.
True.
Bad timing, because as I said, there was a musical purge going on, something that the rock scene had never faced before. And good timing in that it was in this space, a vacuum, if you will, that allowed this album to breathe and find its own footing.
Yeah.
The first single, Pull Me Under, was a crossover song. It was prog, but it was also straight up heavy metal. And this allowed it to get played in places where it might otherwise have been skipped over. So
this would appeal to the Pantera fans and
it did.
Absolutely.
That's right. Megadeth.
The people
Pantera
that wanted
fans.
metal when you had fucking limp-wristed shit like fucking Pearl Jam and Nirvana.
It had a thrash element to it, so it was
Yeah.
So the album,
I saw this. I saw them do it live, and they double timed the fucking pre-chorus, and that's fast enough. And it's all down picking too. Like you're not human, dude.
I get it. Look, overall, the album is a diverse album. It contains many slower melodies entwined with heavy rhythmic moments, accentuated by heavy guitar, keyboards with both soaring and tender vocals. Another boon that had been missing from the music of late. In other words, the grunge era. And on paper, the band had all the elements of what it would take to make it big, except the timing wasn't quite right for that. And as I said, the sinkhole that had swallowed up so many other bands virtually overnight was not showing any signs of slowing down. And yet it was the same sinkhole that had created space for Dream Theater to get noticed. They were just different enough to keep their heads above the water and hang on.
And you know what? They built a career in Europe and Japan. The people actually gave a fuck, where America was just the trendy shit. And fuck the shit that comes and goes. And if they had come earlier, they would be forgotten these days because they built a career that was sustained and could last. So it was shit at the time, but it's probably the best thing that could have happened.
Long term,
Yeah, long term, take the long fucking road. It's much better and it's honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
absolutely.
Jeff, please.
Okay, I'm trying.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Look, DT thrived in that they were seen as real musicians in a time that it was actually taboo. It had been said by someone, and I'm not sure who it was, that to get ahead in popular music of the day, which is grunge, all you had to do was not practice or play your instrument. Perhaps that's a bit harsh, but it held true among fans of music that was played with technical prowess, as DT did. And it was here that DT grew their fan base among people who craved music along with both passion and ability, minus the flair that hair metal had been known for. Truly a space where the music did the talking.
Yep.
I think they were like a cross between Queensryche and Megadeth. Like
they were definitely, they were appealing to a lot of people.
Cross between the two. Yeah. And Rush, obviously, as well.
And Rush, of course, for sure. Look, there isn't a bad song on this album. I don't think there's one skippable track to be found. If you really dig in, you may not like a song, but it just comes down to a personal taste. And, I guess that, you want to skip. I don't know. For me, there's not one. I'm sure Dave would love to hear that. This is the sophomore album. This is the sophomore album that broke this band.
I'm trying to not interrupt.
No, it's okay. And so whether it was due to the timing of its release or due to the quality of songs, it doesn't matter. Because while it wasn't their first album, this is the album that gave birth to the band that we know and still love today. And they're doing what they, they created a genre. This was built on the altar of prog rock, a new genre, prog metal. And it is, in my opinion, that it was institutionalized by firstly this album and then their next album, Awake. Therefore, due to its musical importance in the history of music, this album gets my vote to go through to the next round for a sophomore album battle. I'm giving it 10 shots because I think it's an absolutely brilliant album.
Yes.
And it should be required listening by any fans of prog metal or rock or anything in that genre at all. My standout tracks are Pull Me Under, Take the Time, Metropolis Part 1, The Miracle and the Sleeper, Under a Glass Moon, and Learning to Live.
Wow. There we go.
Fucking yes. I'm surprised, but cool.
Yeah, no. Well, this is now Dream Theater ahead 2-1. So it's going to be interesting because I go next and then we'll go to Belle after that. So sorry, Belle, you have to wait a little bit longer. I hope that's okay with you to have a word in this one tonight. All right. Now, for me, it's actually a sorry. This is a interesting battle. They're two very different albums. You can't even compare them at all in that in style terms. I own both of them. Dave knows that I own Images and Words.
I'm surprised, but yeah.
I know. But this, for me, as far as Dream Theater goes, this is where they changed singer. They had it was a diverse approach, but also a slightly more direct approach. They hadn't fallen down the rabbit hole too far for me yet with this album. So I own this one, Images and Words, on CD. I also own Rainbow Rising on vinyl. Now, I like both these albums a hell of a lot. I actually don't think there's a bad track on either of them. I can sit here and listen to them both quite comfortably, even things like Do You Close Your Eyes, but I also think the Tarot Woman is an underrated song.
Yeah.
Starstruck is a cool one. It's got so much groove. It's not funny, Stargazer, for the obvious reasons, but, on Dream Theater, Pull Me Under, that's a great opening track. I even don't mind that sudden stop at the end. I'm like, what? But it's an interesting...
Like that. I know you did.
I know.
It fits the theme.
But yeah, Metropolis, Under a Glass Moon, Wait for Sleep, Learning to Live. There's a lot of good songs on that one as well. Like, there are no bad songs on either of these albums, and you can listen to them both comfortably over and over again. They both fly by. They both do what they're supposed to do. The Rainbow album is a shorter album, and as such, feels shorter. But the way that they use the epic track as the second last track, and that is a really good touch for the side B effect of this one. Dream Theater, on the other hand, is under an hour. But they pack a lot into that, 50-something minutes for that album. And I think they...
Oh, fuck yeah, they do.
Yeah. I know they do, Dave. But the thing is, they're both exceptional. I think that I'd probably prefer the mix on Rainbow's album just for the old school sake of it. But that being said, you can't help but admire the technicality, for example, that goes into Dream Theater's album in this context. So they both have their strengths and weaknesses. Both, in that context, are entirely different to each other. So this comes down to... It's not about execution or any of those things. And normally when it comes to these battles, I'm sort of stuck in that position where I have to find the flaws and have to pick a fault. But it's very hard to pick a fault in either of these albums. I genuinely struggle with both of these records to find where I'm going to nitpick on this one. So it's just going to come down to pure taste. And I think in the ultimate scheme of things, I'm going to go the one that's the classic album because it feels warmer to listen to. It gives me more of a upbeat vibe when I put it on. I admire and I love Images and Words. I think it's a fantastic album. I think for me, it's possibly the best that band has done, at least that I've listened to in a while. I listened to a few albums now, but that's the one that has stayed with me. It's the only one I own, for example. So it does hold a special place for me with this band. But with Rainbow, it just, when you put it on and it starts off with Tarot Woman and all that kind of stuff, it just, I don't know. That Starstruck, there are things that I just love about it. And even, I know, Jeff, you think you could skip Do You Close Your Eyes, but I think it's cool. I like the way that story builds as it goes along. Like, there's bits and pieces there as well. It's
not a bad song. I just don't like it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But it's just that it's the warmth, it's the fun of it. I think that I have to be in a particular mood to enjoy Dream Theater. Now, this album I can enjoy more often than the other ones, but I have to be in a particular mood, whereas Rainbow I can just put on any time and I'll be transported to a happy place and I'll enjoy it quite a lot. So for me, I'm going to square things up. I'm going to go with Rainbow. And with that being said, I'm going to throw to Belle to break the tie.
Tiebreaker Belle.
Here we go. Well.
Oh, it has it. All right. I haven't written much really because of time, so mercifully we won't need to wait very long.
I was off the cuff on that one. I've written no notes, but it was just off the cuff.
Well done. Yeah. Well done. not quite there yet. I'm not actually all that well. I'm more familiar with Rainbow Rising and Images and Words. But funnily enough, I've written more about the Dream Theater album. So go figure. Anyway, Rainbow Rising, love it. It's cool. I do like all the songs, including Jeff's.
I did say
Close Your Eyes. Yeah. it's a little corny. I'll give it that. It's a little bit.
The 70s.
They're trying to get commercial.
Yeah. But it's all the songs are good. And I think the combination of these musicians is fantastic.
And I think for the record, Dave, just sorry, but Stargazer. Wow, I love it. But anyway, sorry.
No. Winning formula, and all the songs are great, but Stargazer is one of my favourite songs ever.
Really? That's fucking the cure for insomnia.
The lyrics conjure up images throughout the entire song in a way that no other song does. Or in my opinion, like I can just visualize the whole just based on the lyrics. And the way the music lends itself to the vibe of it's just brilliant. Brilliant song.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't.
I play this.
Okay.
I play it on my rock nights here in London when I DJ. I play Stargazer, and it goes fucking the whole place.
I like long songs. Something has to happen, and you have to fucking do something.
Along word
it's so fucking boring.
I bet. Yeah. No, it's brilliant. And that's actually all I've written about that. Okay. So, but like you guys have said more than enough, and I think the audience gets it, like based on the votes, like that.
Yeah, the voting was.
Where the fuck are the Dream Theater fans at? What the fuck?
No, not in this round.
I'm going to say it. Some of you Rainbow fans are absolute cunts with really shitty attitudes. What the fuck?
Yeah,
like, seriously.
There were some comments that indicated
there's some really shitty attitudes out there. Grow the fuck up and listen to something more past 1980.
Anyway,
Anyway. All right. Dream Theater, Images and Words. I've actually grown to really like and appreciate and admire Dream Theater as a band over the last year or two. And this album gives me everything I like about this band. It's heavy. There are some great melodies. The vocals are fantastic.
Yep.
And like all other Dream Theater music that I've heard so far, it's structurally fascinating. I think both albums, they sound quite dated, and you'd expect that with Rainbow, given it's almost 50 years old. Images and Words is comparatively more modern, but it's still, more than 30 years old. And I think the sound of the early 90s does kind of cling to it like a bit of a bad smell.
I prefer that to the fucking snap to grid shit we have these days.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't come into play here anyway.
Yeah. So
so it really does sound. It's just got that sound about it. And I don't know. I think I prefer the sound over all of the 70s than I do of something like that. But in any case, it's still musically brilliant, deeply emotive at times, and it draws me in a way that Rainbow Rising doesn't. So I'm actually giving Dream Theater my vote this week for
wow.
Fucking yes!
That's a superior album.
Wow.
There we go.
Nice.
There we go. All right. So just to put this into perspective here, folks, the 12th seed has beaten the 5th seed for us. Bell has clinched it for Dream Theater, which is, I'm happy to listen to Dream Theater again, so whatever. But Dream Theater go through. But this is in contrast to the audience vote. Now, I mentioned, and Bell has mentioned, an absolute landslide that has gone through here. Let's just put it this way. With well over 80% of the vote, the audience went with Rainbow, with well over 80% of the vote.
I saw that shit. What the
Close
fuck?
to 90% of the vote.
Classic album.
It is, and despite people's opinions on things, it's an interesting. It's going to be interesting to see. We've gone out in round 2 out of 9 or 11 rounds, we've gone out of 2, and we've gone split from the audience basically straight away. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this breaks out and see if we end up at the same place again, or if this is really going to put us on different paths to what's happening. So for us, it's Dream Theater. For the audience, it's Rainbow, which will change things as we go through in the polling as the weeks roll on for this season of King of the Riff. The fun part is next week's battle is no less interesting. We have Def Leppard High and Dry going up against Extreme's Porno Graffiti. So
a very easy one.
Coming up next week. We'll see. Who knows? Will there be another upset, or are we going to go with the audience, or what's going to happen in this one? Because I reckon that's a tighter match. So
I think it is tighter. Yeah.
I think it's a tighter match, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but just in terms of the audience vote more than anything else. We'll see how we go.
I really hope it's not as fucking one-sided, because that was pathetic. Really,
I don't like complete landslides, but yeah, it is what it is. But,
that was fun.
But in that context, it's an interesting one. So last week we had a tie, went with the audience vote in the end, or the seeding, sorry. And this time around we've gone against the audience. So I'm not sure where we're going to end up in this series at all at this point in time. We're off to a very interesting start. So we'll see what happens. But that almost brings us to the conclusion of the show. Let's go to the audience comments here before we start going to the win and bin and all that sort of stuff. So think about your win and your bin, because we've got a few comments here to get through. Craig, Images and Words was a game change for me. So there we go. We've got Craig jumping in on that one. Kevin says Rainbow Rising by far. Basher says, so glad Richie Blackmore left Deep Purple and recorded one of the best heavy metal albums of all time in Rainbow Rising. Bought this album because I was going to the Rising gig and listening to it, jumping in jubilation, as this was the music I was searching for.
Nice.
That's nice.
Blackmore's way better in fucking Deep Purple.
We'll see. Craig says one only has to listen to the song "Learning to Live" to realize Dream Theater were on another level in the early '90s. So there we go. Michael says Theo preferred first album over Rising himself. So there we go.
Yes, he did.
And last comment, Edge Crusher. Good to see you. I felt like I was the only one that voted for Dream Theater, though I do love the Rainbow album. Well, there we go.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's funny in the comments tonight. I know we had the poll, but in the comments watching tonight, people are siding with the way things are played out. It looks like more people are praising. There's praise for both albums. It looks like if you would do a snap poll now,
the info you supplied and the statistics, more people listen to the Dream Theater album than the Rising album on Spotify.
Yeah, and I didn't go and do those counts on every album. It was only when there was a tiebreaker to determine seeding.
But it was just interesting seeing that, because, like I said, Dream Theater and Rising collectively are a lot less than Zeppelin and fucking Sabbath. Yeah. So it's not just the fact that the old boomers are listening to things on vinyl. No. People still listening to these albums on Spotify. Just Rainbow is right down the bottom, and Dream Theater is way up there in terms of listening.
Yeah. So there's a whole methodology I go through. There's actually a fair bit of work that goes in behind the scenes to map the seeding out in the context of things. But I'll explain it to you guys. I don't need to bore everyone out there at home. But let's just say I sit there with a calculator for a while. And I'm not good at math, so it hurts my fucking head.
I have a guitar, not a calculator.
Yeah. But anyway, this is why I do what I do. But that's almost it for tonight. So thank you, everyone, for jumping in. We'll get, like I said, everyone get your win and your bin ready to go, because I'm going to go through a final little things here. Make sure you follow us, like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Follow us at the Hard Rock Show on your preferred platform. We do love having you along for the ride, wherever you choose to be, and just sort of, see how you go with that. We don't stream to X or Twitter anymore because they want us to pay for a premium platform. I'm not doing that. So I'm not putting more money into that platform. It's owned
by cunts anyway.
Yeah, it's a shit show, so I'm not jumping on Twitter. Just sort of leaving. I'm marking that
so stupid that I said if you have them as your provider, that should be given to you for free.
Yeah,
but oh no,
we have Starlink, and I'm not paying him more to have that. So I just don't.
He's got enough fucking money.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not getting into that all debate. Just like I'm just bookmarking the Twitter page for now. We're not getting super active on there. We're just going to leave that sort of sit in place and see what happens. But if you want to get involved more directly and get more involved in conversations where we do pay a lot of attention, is Patreon. So make sure you join over there. Even if you're just getting the free tier, just treat it like a mailing list. You'll be lucky if you get like an email a week out of us on the free side of things. So it's just a way to keep up to date with what's going on. And also, if you want to chip in a bit, you'll get a lot of bang for buck in that regard. And if you want to get involved in the voting that we do for Hot Rocks and that, a couple of bucks a month gets you in there. If you want to watch our Sunday streams, It's just $5 a month to jump in and see those ones every week as well. So you get a lot more. You get an extra show a week for $5 a month if you want to jump in and help us out there. If you want to get in touch with us, best way to do so is email. It's media@thehardrockshow.com. It's on the screen right now, so do all that sort of stuff. And check us out on television as well. Every Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. on Channel 31, and every Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Channel 44. Channel 31 is in Melbourne. Channel 44 is in Adelaide. Both those times are local, so bear that in mind because there's a half-hour difference between the two. And yeah, basically, I think this week coming up on Channel 31 is a revisit of Massive, which Jimmy did the interview with them in 2019. So it's coming back in time for that one. And so that'll be on Saturday night, which will follow through to next Thursday. And then the one after that is actually Jimmy again interviewing Rusty from Electric Mary, revisiting that one.
Oh, that was a good interview. That was really good.
We're going to revisit that one the week after that. And then Dave and I and Jeff are all working through some new interviews to come. So there is new stuff coming.
Yes.
Just using the archives to have some fun in the meantime while we sort of just reestablish that platform and bring the interviews back into things. But yeah, next week, like I said, there's a lot to get through. Def Leppard, High and Dry versus Extreme Porno Graffiti, and a whole lot more. We've got Audio Rain. We've got Tier to get through. We've got everything. So just make sure you like, follow, subscribe, keep up to date, and we're back again with more of the same stupidity, nonsense, and fun next week. And maybe even a random Bloodstock? Conrad?
Bloodstock. I just remember, dog, be on the train on the way up when you're streaming.
Okay.
So I'll tune in. I'll tune in on the train. I won't actually be at Bloodstock. I'll be on the way.
Bring us your train of thought.
Oh no, hang on. Thursday. It's a Thursday. What day is it here? It's Thursday. Yeah. No, we'll be on site. I'm going up on the Wednesday. So we'll be on site, but I don't think there'll be many bands playing on the Wednesday day. I am seeing Evergrey that's playing that night.
Oh,
Evergrey.
nice.
Oh, fuck you.
Fucking jealous.
What Bell just did, yes.
What did
I want to become somebody else.
I looked away. Belle, what did you do?
You threw something on the camera.
I threw my glasses cleaner at the computer at Conrad.
Yeah,
everything else in between tonight.
Yeah, just everybody's favorite band at the moment. You just I'm going to go see them next week.
Just gonna.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Evergreen. Yeah, look at me, aren't I fucking good? They got a great album out. I'm going to go see them.
I'll be sure to post you some clips from the audience.
That said, honestly, I love the fucking band. I'm jealous as all shit, but enjoy because the last album is a good beast. So please get it. All right. Well, on that note, win or bin time. We'll see how this plays out. Let's do the randomizer on this one to see what happens. And Jeff, you're up first. What have you got for win and bin this week?
Okay. So I got a win and a bin. So first is my bin. Now, my bin this past week, I've just been, I've had stomach problems. I've been off work. I've not been well. I to be honest, I struggled just to sit through this.
Yeah, you've done well tonight.
But
clench, dude.
Yeah, I've been clenching, all right. Normally I eat before the stream. Let's put it that way. I haven't eaten it, you know.
Yeah, I don't.
It's like, I
said no more Uber Eats, man.
No more Uber Eats. I think no more Uber nothing. I'll tell you. Fuck. Anyway, so that's been my bin, and hopefully I can feel better when I wake up tomorrow. I'm hoping that I'll be able to go back to work tomorrow. I'm hoping.
Genuinely hope you're feeling better soon, man. Like,
so do I. Because then it's like, even if I can get through tomorrow, then I've got Saturday and Sunday to just try to get me back. Hopefully, a couple more days off. And my win, Andrew, you already know about this. I met someone. A lovely person, a lovely young lass, and I'm actually, her and I seem to have hit it off quite well. So that's my win, and
nice.
Happy. Thank you.
Have you shown her the maple leaf yet?
Oh God, Dave!
No.
You watching?
There's that maturity you were talking about earlier on tonight, right?
No. Yeah. So she's a lovely girl, and it was actually.
So you haven't shown the maple.
Don't tell her about this.
Apologies if she's watching. Apologies.
Don't bring her around to meet me, dude.
I did send her the link to this, so she might be. I don't know.
My apologies on behalf of all of us fuckwits. Do not blame Jeff for us.
Jeff's he's a really nice guy.
Do not blame Jeff for us. Jeff is the best of us in a lot of respects.
It really is. I'm fucking scumbag.
Yeah. Well, if she's a Rainbow fan, you definitely are.
Well done.
You know what to say
But I
about
don't
Paul
know.
George?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know that much. But I know
It's
she
very
loves
early,
metal.
yeah.
She loves hard rock and metal. So she's right there with all the stuff. So I'll learn more about her hopefully as time goes on. But yeah, she's very nice. So yeah, that's my win. Hopefully.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
I said, yeah,
Thank you,
I think
Thank you.
I think everyone's feeling the same way that I felt when you told me about it on Sunday, man, that everyone's wrapped for you. So
That's good.
genuinely, I know there's a lot of nonsense and stupidity that goes on here, but we love seeing you to be very happy. And the way we talked on Sunday,
It's
I
nothing,
saw your
it's
face.
not like we're an item yet, but
No,
I'm
no,
building
no.
up, you know.
But
You're
I
working
said
on it.
to
You're
you
working on it,
then,
dude.
the fact you had an
we're
awesome conversation that could lead to something, even if it's just a friendship, is a good thing.
I hope
And
so.
that's-
Indeed.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, absolutely. So that's my win. Either way, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
No.
anyway, who's up next?
Belle is up next.
Oh shit.
If you put your husband or your son in the bin this week, that's going to really fuck shit up now.
Oh, I so should. I made a really awesome pun earlier, and it was not appreciated. I can't remember what it was offhand though. I should have written it. Damn, I should have. Anyway, I don't have a win or a bin, so I'm going to make it up on the spot and say my win is Jeff and what he's just shared. His win is my win because I think that's awesome and beautiful, and I want to hear more about it, so I will be messaging you. Expect that.
Okay.
Because I'm nosy and
the hatchet wants to give some advice. Yes. Okay.
my
Seal approval.
I don't think I have
more than if you want to, by all means, message me anytime, Bill. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I'm obviously curious, but I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling shit. I noticed that. Yeah.
It's been quite. Although today, like Monday and Tuesday, were probably the worst, and yesterday, to an extent, I was trying to actually get my shit together so I could work today, but I just was like,
Well, hopefully it's better tomorrow morning, man.
Yeah.
We'll see how I feel. Yeah.
Everything's harder when you're not feeling well. Everything when you got shit that you have to do.
Yes.
This is crummy.
Yeah.
I don't know. My band can be Conrad, Sagana Evergrey, so it's just in there.
Fuck you, Conrad.
Fuck you, Conrad. Fucking hell.
I'll be sure to send you some pictures.
No. Well, I'm glad I don't go on Messenger anymore.
This is great. All right. Cool. All right, Dave, I see you playing with your chair. I don't know if that's your win or your bin, but what do you got for us this week?
No, that's cool. I got two. One is fucking car trouble. Everyone knows beforehand. I almost didn't make it tonight because my fucking car battery or alternator just fucking died. I had to wait like an hour and a half for the RACV to turn up, and when they jump started the car, they're just like, your alternator is fucked. You may not make it home. You can either wait an hour and a half for a tow truck, or you can try drive it. And I was like, I have never driven so fucking fast and had so many red lights in my life. And every time I had to stop at the red light, the voltage of the battery alternator on my dashboard went right down into the red. Like fucking turned red. As soon as the light turned green, I fucking slammed that accelerator and I made it home. But now it's sitting at the front of the house, and I clicked it on, and they get that fucking click. So I'll sort that shit out tomorrow. But my actual bin win that I had planned for tonight, it's subjective. So some people might think it's a bin, some people might think it's a win. Conrad, you're warned. Cover your ears. You don't want to hear this. Okay, cover your ears. You have been warned.
You just want to hear this?
Okay, people can judge as they want to. Sunday night after tea, like Jade's on camp this week. I'm like, okay, kids, turn the screens off. No YouTube, no phones, no Chromebooks, no nothing. Go play. Do something together.
Yep.
I'm sitting in the lounge room alone, playing some songs, learning some new music. And Julia comes in and she says, "What have you done to our kids?" I'm like, "What? What's going on?" And she's like, They're sitting in Jade's room in the dark on the floor writing letters
I know where this
to
is
Satan.
Oh god.
Ouija board.
No Ouija board.
No.
They're writing letters to Satan.
Oh man.
Wonderful parenting. Wonderful parenting.
Okay, I'm like, okay, they might actually get a reply by writing to him. Then the other guy, he's not going to respond. You might need to have a conversation with them because I've done my part.
Oh no.
No, you stay the fuck away. But, you know,
I will have a conversation.
Oh man.
I've corrupted my kids to the fucking end.
Wow. This is a first.
You'll have
Out
so
of
Yeah,
all years we've
my
done
kids
shit,
are writing
this
letters
is
to Satan.
No.
So, yeah, I take that as a win. Some people take that as a bin.
Yeah.
I am who I am, and I'm not going to change.
Oh.
I'll be praying for your ass.
Okay.
Dude, you can pray for my ass all you want. You're never getting it, baby.
And your children.
Yes.
All
Your
right.
children for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Let me follow this up because the random name that came out next is Conrad. So what have you got for us this week?
Oh, fucking Dave's children.
Fuck.
Oh
my God.
Spawn.
The bin this week. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news over there and seeing what's going on over here, but it's pretty fucking gnarly. There's some really gnarly shit happening over here at the moment. Yeah, we've had.
Yeah, someone stabbed.
But it was three children. Three children in a 3 children at a Taylor. I shouldn't laugh about Taylor Swift. All right.
No,
it's not be horrible about Taylor Swift. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that because it's going to bring the whole thing down and it's not cool.
Yeah.
But some really horrible, nasty shit's happening over here at the moment, and the country is on the verge of a fucking civil war on the streets. It's fucking just really bad. It's some heavy shit happening over here at the moment. And the news, the way it's reported, the way that the mainstream news reports things here is very much left wing. They report it they're really far left, and they report anybody that doesn't agree with the far left over here as being, far right Nazi fucking bigots, basically. And that's the way they portray people over here that protest, and it's just awful. So it's just really nasty. So the mainstream media here can go get fucked. They can go in the bin. They're just awful. So alternative media, you got some alternative media out there on YouTube and stuff like that, thankfully, that are spreading the truth and are showing the truth of what's really happening, and thank God for that. So yeah, but otherwise, mainstream media, they can fuck right off. They're just awful. Tabloid, gutter level journalism. It's just disgusting.
It's a problem everywhere.
So yeah. But there's some pretty horrible, gnarly shit going on over here at the moment. If you didn't know, I don't know if they're reporting it over there or not.
Oh, I see bits and pieces, but I haven't had time.
Heard about the stabbing.
I think the best news in Australia, from what I remember, is SBS World News. Is amazing.
That was that's one of the best ones here we've got. Yeah, I agree.
I think
SBS was amazing, but it wasn't for the news, though.
Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised?
And
yes, they might see a boo.
Where that went. So what does that say about all of us too? Because we all know where that went. So don't play.
Everyone knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yes, you might see.
Judge me if you want to.
Anyway, do you have a win, Conrad?
I have a win. Go to Bloodstock, Nick. Go to Bloodstock.
Fuck you.
There we go. That'll put the good to everybody here. So love you, Conrad, but fuck you at the same time.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right, my turn. Very quickly. Again, it was something I referenced earlier tonight, but I was making the notes and that I've had a week where I've been a bit behind all week, and just because I'm adjusting to having a new job and all that kind of stuff, which I'll get to in a second. But just changing schedule can be a bit of a hassle. Jodie and I are going through a transition phase where she's sort of scaling out of work and I'm scaling up into work. So it's a bit of when you're both not as available as you would like, it's always a bit of a challenging time. And so when I'm trying to rush and get things done, because there's never enough hours in a day at the best of times. And like I was saying, I was trying to find the rest of the support dates for the Amaranth tour. And it's like, just for fuck's sake, promote shit properly. In this day and age, if you don't do that, it's going to be dead in the water. So to have a coordinated thing, I don't know. It's either that or their algorithms are fucking it up. I don't know which way it is, but I couldn't even search on Google, on social, on whatever else. I couldn't find anything. So I don't think it's the algorithm. It's just that there's not enough information out there. And so it should be something that's more widely promoted when a support act is announced, especially in Australia, because we do need those things to give those bands a leg up. So I just wish it was given more importance, I guess, overall to the scheduling of things and how things are rolled out. So I just wish that giving bands that chance to promote things and having coordinated responses between promoter, the headline band, and the support acts is those things that gives things a bump, because it does push it into the feed more. And you know what I'm saying? You've all seen it.
Let people know what time the bands are on.
Yes, I agree with that too. I agree with that too.
Stage times for
completely
support
agree.
acts, you know?
Yep. But even still, tell them when doors and the bar is open as well, because even if they get in there to go to the bar and they hear a song they like, it'll be enough to prick their ears. There's a whole lot of communication needs to be improved. Beyond that, though, my win, I mentioned it before, is that yes, it's a transition period and all that sort of stuff, but I'm settling into the new job really nicely.
Good.
So it's working out really well, and already becoming part of the furniture, which is something I'm good at doing when it comes to working for someone else. I can fit in pretty quickly, but it's sort of working out really nicely. It's a bit of a culture shift working with people from Melbourne to having a full-time job up here in Queensland, regional Queensland. So there is a bit of a cultural difference in things, but at the same time, I'm enjoying it. I'm fitting in well, and it's all going really, really smoothly. So that's my win. It's one of those things where you're never quite sure how it's going to go, especially in your first week. You rock up and go, okay, where am I going to go with this? How's it going to play out? But it's playing out well. So fingers crossed it'll continue on, but so far so good, and I'll have a different win next week, I'm sure. But for now, this is, it's working out, and the way it'll all settle in, it's good stuff. So I know you guys have checked in behind the scenes, and it's been cool. But no, it's just letting everyone know that that's actually all going very, very smoothly. So looking forward to just keeping it up for now. So it's all good.
Good job.
All right. Final comments here before we get out of here. Basher, somewhere in the middle of all this mess, put "Dance with the Devil" was a hit with Cozzy. Okay, there we go. Rightio. Just I didn't see them before, but now I'm scrolling through. What do we got here? So scrolling down to where we were caught up on before. There we go. So Kat said, "Great show as always. Love the round of chaos." Well, we are good at that. That's about the only thing we're consistent with is
I am chaos.
Embrace the chaos. That's going to be one of the tattoos I'm going to get at some point. It's my saying for the show. Dave knows my whole thing on Embrace the Chaos. It's been an ethos of mine for quite some time. It's how it all works. Kevin says, Clutch are playing Friday at Bloodstock. Enjoy it, Conrad. So there we go. More support there for that. Michael says, win this week. Olympics ball waxing about to start. My bin, no ball waxing at the Olympics.
Ball waxing?
Wow. I what?
No idea.
Am I the only one confused by that, or am I?
I'm aware of ball waxing. I'm not going to do it, regardless of what I joke about.
Dave's business supplies the contract. Vinny says, my bin is losing my side gig as a bingo caller. Apparently a meal for two with a hair review isn't the correct way to call 69. Well done, Vinny. Well done, Vinny. On that note, he's gone, we're rooting for you, Jeff. We should double date. Jeff and his new flame, Dave and I on the sidelines in disguises. That is not going to happen.
We'll give you tips, dude.
Someone I met. That's
give you tips, don't you worry.
Kevin says the news in England sounds just like the news in the US. It's a bit of a mess everywhere at the moment. Kat says, Bin, this fucking weather in Melbourne, Jesus. I don't know what it's like for you guys down
there. It's fucking cold. I hate it.
Is it? It's cold enough up here. Like my car actually I had to de-ice my window the other day in Queensland.
Yeah. In Queensland, I do that every fucking morning. Like, it's colder than every other fucking year.
It's pretty cold up here. Like, I'm driving to work and it's down to like 3 degrees or less up here. Like, and I'm
we've had minuses.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I can only imagine how cold it is for you guys.
Bring on fucking summer, man. 40-degree days, man.
It's coming.
And my workplace is 10 degrees hotter than that. I fucking love it. Bring it on.
Basher with the final comment here. NDIS are on their way, Dave, with a Ouija board and a new car. So there we go.
New car. Bring the Ouija board. Jade will be happy.
All right. I think that's about it. We've played here long enough. Time to get out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all again very, very soon. Make sure you keep up to date with everything going on. But same time, place next week for more of this randomized chaos that we love to do so very, very much. But thank you again for watching. If you're watching later on, we appreciate your time. Thank you for doing that as well. And to Jeff beside me, Dave on the other side of the screen, and to Conrad and Bell below, thank you to you guys as well for jumping in, having some fun here tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show as much as I have behind the scenes here. It's been an absolute blast. But time to wrap it up. Time to get out of here. Thank you all very much. We will see you all very, very soon, one way or another. And keep an eye out for the polls and everything we need you guys to get involved in as well. But for now, that'll do it. Time to get out of here. On behalf of us all here at the show, thank you so much again. I'm Andrew. We'll see you soon. Until next time, drink up, rock on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Speak.